Hello, and welcome to another episode of Manifest Actual Play. I'm Tommy Cotton, and with me, as always, we have Dan Barron, Addie Gia, Seth Lilly, and Roman Milan. We're here to play some Manifest, but before we get into any of that, these wonderful people are going to have some cool, fun things to talk to you about. I see people in the chat dropping some porters. We got to get into the actual play because
You're
maybe
getting ahead of us.
maybe we'll have to see what happens to Porter. But before we get to it, we they got stuff to talk about. So talk about stuff, people.
Is that what we are to you?
People?
Just stuff people.
You're stuff
How
people.
dare you?
Streamers Union.
How dare you?
Walk it out.
All right. So
plus one grit
is,
to Eloise.
Oh, yay. Yay for L. Yeah, so it is the last Tuesday of September, which means it is the last time I'm going to talk about the Cajun Navy Foundation, but it's not the last time you should think about it. So they are an informal ad hoc volunteer group made up of private boat owners, originally formed in the aftermath of Hurricane Katrina. They assist in search and rescue efforts in the United States, as well as offer disaster relief assistance. And right now they're working on assisting those affected by Hurricane Ida. They believe that today's model for disaster recovery is not making the best use of citizens who use technology and social media and the internet, everything that you're using right now to execute disaster relief. So if you have the capacity in any way, shape, or form, you can visit the link that is right there and donate, volunteer, do whatever you can for this amazing, amazing foundation.
And now I'll go, and now I'll do the things. Hi, welcome to the stream. We are here around about 8 o'clock every Tuesday night, twitch.tv/Waypoint Live, where you are. Maybe you're listening to this on somewhere else. Maybe you're listening to this on the podcasts that we started releasing this week of recordings of our actual plays. We're starting with last season, so it's going to be a while until you're hearing this season, but hey, maybe you're there. Who knows?
I gotta interrupt you, Roman. Do a quick refresh on your camera. just turn it off, turn off video, and turn it back on.
Cool.
Your face disappeared.
and that's a crime that cannot be allowed.
Oh no. Oh well, keep going.
I see how pixelated I am. Oh no. That's fine. I didn't shave well today, so this'll do. You guys, we're here every Tuesday night, but if you're having trouble remembering Tuesday, 8, night, these words, remembering words, what is this? Middle school? What is this, a vocab test? Nah, baby, this is twitch.tv. They'll tell you when we're live. I've got these 3 buttons under me. There's a heart, there's a bell, there's a big purple one. The heart and the bell, you can just go ahead and follow the channel, and Twitch will tell you when we're live. It's just that easy. Tell you when the music starts, get you some time to grab a drink, make some popcorn, sit down, and mentally prepare yourself for what's about to happen and whether or not Porter's about to die. And there's also a big purple button because it's still at class. Say it with me, September. That's right. And so subs are a little cheaper. They are very cool. They allow you to follow the channel. And then they also allow you to give subs to other people so they can follow the channel. It supports us directly, and that money goes right back into the show. We're bringing on guests. We're putting on special events. Our patrons may have learned about a special event we've got coming down the barrel very soon that we're excited about. They help us to do all these cool things that you guys then get to enjoy. We really, really appreciate all of your support. Please follow us on our socials for some extra info about that. Get up on our Patreon, which Addie's going to talk about here in a little bit. Some cool stuff going on there, including a new adventure today. All sorts of dope stuff happening all the time. Please follow us. And in one more act, after so much self-promotion, there's only one thing to do, and that's self-promote a little bit more. Go ahead and check out my personal podcast, All Sequels Go to Heaven. Tomorrow we have an episode where my brother couldn't join us, so it's just me and Spencer talking about the Fast and Furious TV show, of which they've put out 5 seasons in 2 years. But we also spend a lot of time talking about how hot cars are and what different cars look like. And a lot of times talking about I Love College, the Astra Roth song. So go ahead and check it out. It's a little mini episode. It gives you a taste of what we're about. I personally would really appreciate it. Thank you. Anyways, I'm going to take this attention. I'm going to toss it over to someone who's going to do something better with it. And I believe that person is Addie.
Better is such a like fungible word though. Yeah, so we put out a Kickstarter update a little early than usual because I inexplicably, the person who doesn't leave the house almost ever, has been has a COVID. I have a COVID. I'm feeling fine, but it does, in fact, stop us from what we would be doing tomorrow, which is leaving for Origins. So, unfortunately, for those of you who we were really excited to see in Columbus, Ohio, the gem of North America, we are not going for safety's sake. Yeah, so I'm currently in quarantine. I live in my office. It's very exciting. And the everybody who else is here is fine and dandy. But yeah, so that's a fun, cool update. And you can read all about it on Kickstarter if you want. It's kickstarter.com/manifesttherepg. But a little bit more fun and a little less dour, we have a Patreon now. This is the last week for you all to sign up and become better patrons and still get some super cool art that I didn't grab again.
You know where you can see it? You can see some previews on the Patreon.
Ooh, you should go there. It's patreon.com/
Waypoint. It's Waypoint Game Designs.
Waypoint Game Designs.
It's in the chat.
It's totally in the chat, but I remembered. And you can go there and give if you like. You get special updates and sneak peeks and all that kind of stuff, and free art until September 30th. 30 days has September. Yep. And then we will be sending those out. So now is the if you sign up to give us $5 or more a month, we're going to send you some cool free art. In addition, you get releases on the stuff that we release early. Speaking of things that we are now releasing, Roman mentioned it earlier. We have started releasing season 1 of the actual play on the Essential NPCs RSS feed. You can go back and check out Kinsey, Pax, and Roland getting involved with the
Tobias Station.
the later Saving Tobias Station. But first, meeting that hottie Leonard Yen and that really freak of nature, Rufus Nash, and the Dead Man's Gang. So if you want something to listen to on your commute or while you're doing dishes or working out or really anything, it's very versatile. You can go to soundcloud.com/essential NPCs, or you can find it on any of wherever you get your podcasts. That's where it lives, right next to All Sequels Go to Heaven.
Yeah.
And that is, I think, all the time I'm going to spend today. Next week, we have another really cool announcement that I didn't write any copy for. So you'll get that next week. Teasers.
Teasers.
Yeah, and now I think instead of passing...
Actually, no. First, I'm just going to point
It's
out...
gotta go to Tommy first.
No.
I've watched his eyes go nuts.
Okay.
Yeah, Ryak just dropped 25,000 bits.
That's so many.
Absolute mad lad.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you.
Ryak, thank you so much. Thank
That's
you, you
That's
absolute
totally
legend. Holy fucking shit. That's
Have
insane.
inspiration.
Is he bribing you for inspiration in D&D?
No, I am rewarding him for his patronage.
It's
As they
different.
say in
It's
Liberty City.
different.
Holy cannoli.
Thank you so much, Ryak. That's it. I just had to fucking shout out to Ryak because that's insane. That's so generous. You're amazing.
Yes, Argit Lam. If everyone wants to go back to a time before Last Process was a real place that did exist, you can go back and listen to all the episodes either on YouTube or on the podcast. And now I would normally pass it off to Tommy to tell you all about how economics is a lie, or just lie to you about economics. But instead, I'm going to pass this off to Dan and Roman
So let me tell you first.
with my full support.
When you watch this stream, you get channel points. We call it viewer grit. It's a lot of fun. You watch it tally up. You grow a mountain that one day you'll swim through like Scrooge McDuck. Except that's doing nothing for you. You can spend it for 1,000 of your viewer grit. You can give a grit to Tommy that he can spend to do bad things because he's a bad person and he likes to hurt people. For 1,500, you can give grit to any of us players, and you can look at the counters in the top. 12 is our maximum, though I can't imagine anyone is close to 12 right now after last episode. That's the gist of how it works. It's so important. But we have a very special message today. Today, Roman, if you would tell the people.
Y'all,
The arms of the angels.
every 10 or so episodes, Porter gets in a lot of trouble. And for just 1,500 channel points, you can give Addy the grit to save his life. Or give Porter some grit. I think he'll be helping on that role, but Addy's is the main role.
Give
For
it to
Jeff-
Addy.
For just 1,500 channel points, you can help us make sure that Porter doesn't die again. And if you give today, joining the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the Wyndham family, and of course viewers like you can get a free commemorative tote. You'll have to go and steal it from someone who has a commemorative tote from someone else. But you could get a commemorative tote if you wanted. But really what we're here to say is please give Addie some viewer grit so that she can save Porter's life. It's so important, please.
Save our Porter. You can
Save
help.
our Porter.
Wow. Well done. That's fantastic. All right, so yeah, I'm on the line right now. The viewer grid is rolling in. It's gonna take us a little while to tally up all the donations, so we're gonna jump to a commercial break here. Yeah, I'm gonna we will tally up this viewer grid that is pouring in from viewers like you. Yes, Ryak. Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna count all this up, and before we jump into that grit mountain that's being passed over, and before we jump into the previously on. We are going to teleport our minds to the world of Manifest by looking at dope art made by Kate May. All right. So let's see. We had right at the beginning, Argit said this should help and gave that 1 grit to Eloise that we did tally. And then Argit continued to gift grit, and then we got even more after this beautiful tribute to Porter. So let's go through that.
Okay.
Argit says hope this helps too. That's a +1 grit to Porter. Okay. We have a +1 grit to Dex from Argit for the purposes of making people get gunslung.
I'll do it.
Get gunslung.
+1 grit to Gus because sometimes we need a horror movie monster, says Argit.
Don't we all?
Another +1 to Eloise from Ryak saying viewers like me. +1 grit to Porter from Fiddler Undone with a Porter emoji.
Fiddler.
+1 grit
Fiddler's been here
to
since day one. Trying to say Porter.
yeah, Fiddler Undone is just constantly trying to say Porter. +1 grit to Eloise.
Honestly, Fiddler Undone's the only reason that Porter is still alive.
You're not wrong. A lot of grave misfires have been avoided by Fiddler Undone's efforts. +1 grit to Eloise, which is from Carnaxis saying there's something in my eye. Another +1 grit to Porter from Carnaxis.
Aw.
And then a +1 grit to Dex from Carnaxis. And a +1 grit to Gus from Carnaxis. And none for Gretchen Wiener, which is me, apparently. Okay, so that puts the totals at I am still at 8. Dex is at 5, Eloise is at 8, Porter's at 6, and Gus is at 6. Cool. So, previously on Manifest Actual Play, our drifters set a trap for Black Star Mercenary Company in an attempt to wipe them out and rid Manifest of them for good. Also hoping to acquire the laser rifle in the possession of the leader of Black Star, Henry Fawcett, so that Porter can use it as a bargaining chip to clear his debt with the family in Markham's Landing. Now, they lured the soldiers into an Augurino den in the Punched Peaks. The act of luring them proved to be extremely treacherous, and many people were shot. Some of them mercenaries, some of them these 4 drifters. But they did manage to fully get into the Augurino den, and then the soldiers started pouring in, rightfully thinking they had the drifters super on the back foot since they did shoot them a bunch. They deployed massive automated turret guns called Dogs of War, started tearing up the cover, and all the drifters made their way back to the secret exit in the back of the Augurino den so that they could blow the explosives that they planted and cause a cave-in to kill the soldiers that were still in the Augurino den. This more or less went as intended, with all the drifters making it back to the exit. However, many of them are injured heavily, and none more than Porter, who did get shot really badly, and currently is suffering from a class 4 injury, which is, I believe, just called bleeding out, because that's what's happening to him right now. So Porter is going to be he's going to be losing 1 hit point every turn until he's dead or until this injury is completed. That's where we pick up. I'm going to go ahead and bring us into the suspense screen. Now, Porter, so
dark.
You all heard the explosion go off. A cloud of dust and literal grit poured over all of you, filling out the tunnel you're in, obscuring your vision, and Eloise felt as many of the people who were alive were killed instantly in the collapse. Currently, Eloise, you still have your power up, right?
I do, yes.
You have a total of 6 names remaining, one of which is Henry Fawcett.
Oh, okay.
And they you can tell that they're not like, there's like soldiers who pull back. Like you have a relative sense of where they are. And it seems like they're moving through the cave network trying to find out where you guys are going to come out, because a couple of soldiers did retreat before the explosion. So that's where you guys find yourself. Porter has massive wounds from large caliber explosive rounds that tore through his abdomen. Leo Riggs doesn't look super great. He got shot through a couple times. I don't remember. Gus is a bit shell-shocked. Potentially physically harmed, but definitely emotionally harmed. Dex, also having taken multiple injuries, is looking scuffed up, though his armor is still intact.
Mostly bruised and battered.
Yeah. his armor, the makeshift armor that Eloise basically like, nano constructed around his existing armor, still intact. And Eloise herself also pretty injured, I think, a little bit.
I'm very injured.
Most notably, Eloise's skin on her hands, eyes, and back are cracked and raw as she overextended using shine that she did not have in order to save Porter and telekinesis him into safety before the explosives were hit.
I also have a broken arm.
And she has a broken arm. Wait, I didn't break your arm.
Yes, you did.
Oh, you did? That was 2 episodes ago.
It's like fractured or something, right? Yeah, you still have use of it. I didn't take an arm.
It's just broken. I can still use it.
I didn't take the
She
arm.
said broken, not missing.
I mean, it could be broken so badly it can't be fixed, but she still have
you
use.
say in that scenario.
You still have use.
I broke my arm right off.
Okay. So, we are still in initiative. We get to the top of initiative, and it is Gus's turn. Now you can hold your turn if you want, Gus. This is your last turn before you're out of initiative. But because you cowboyed up, you go first, even though you only have 2 initiative left.
Cool. Yeah, I hold my turn. I hold my turn.
Okay.
There's more important stuff going on than Gus. Gus is waiting to see what happens over here.
Yeah. And what about you, Dex? You still have initiative left.
Remind me, it has been a number of iterations of Detect Life. I don't remember if that's a thing that can be shared over telepathy, so like everyone on the telepathic link knows where people are.
No, she has to communicate it to you. You don't have the same sense she has.
Okay, that's what I thought. I think Dex will see how badly Porter is injured, how shell-shocked Gus is, how badly hurt Leo is, and like how badly hurt Eloise is. And over the telepathic link, Dex will say, I'm gonna buy you the time to save Porter's life. And then Dex is going to try and like sneak out of the caves and get far enough away to shoot off the flare that he still has to start leading them away.
Okay. So you can roll sneak if you want to get a decent distance on this. I guess, yeah, because you want to sneak in a way that makes it so that they don't know where you came from.
Yes, exactly.
So roll a sneak if you want to get a good distance away, like to have what you would feel is like a comfortable amount of distance between you and your friends. I'm going to give you negative to the sneak. That way you can achieve it in one turn.
Change if I have Lightfoot?
Oh, no, yeah, you're fine. Yeah, Lightfoot lets you move at normal speed. So you're fine.
Cool. I have Lightfoot. I also have Silent Step. So
Cool. That's good for me to know
Oh, shit.
because would specifically be them hearing you moving through the caves.
so that's no penalty because of
No
Lightfoot?
penalty because of Lightfoot. Yeah.
Cool. Great. Cool. Okay. Well, this is a pretty good roll.
You're up against a 10. Oh wait, no, you're not, because what's the negative for
The -2.
-2? Then I can't count the 10, so you're up against a 7.
Cool. I have a 7, a 9, a 9, and a 12.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, so Dex says that, and then like in like his like torn up like battle like roughed by the battle cloak like wisps in the air as he disappears around the corner, and fucking ninja runs through the cave, emerging into the sunlight, and you hear the soldiers around you, Dex, and you like make a really good use because you have wall running. You really quickly like make your way up over some terrain, put a decent amount of distance between you and your friends, circle around, and get in position, and you can fire the flare off, and that will be your focus action.
Is the flare gun a quick action?
It's basically I was letting no, it's kind of going to be a free action basically, but it's your focused action to get to the distance you want to get to.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I'll shoot off the flare gun, and then I will double down and I will activate. I can do this all day.
Okay. Yeah, so you all see through Dex's vision as like he just like flies out, eyes adjust quickly to the sun. He leaps up into a position, holsters his guns, pulls out the flare gun, launches it, and then like slides up against a rock, pulls out his guns, and gets ready. And let me do a quick test to see if anyone actually makes it to you. Which squads are actually alive? Oh, cool. So just take that squad off of the tracker. Also take this squad off of the tracker. Okay.
I like hearing that.
That's good.
So it's actually Porter's turn.
That's great. Love that.
So
I'm
Porter, you
very
lose 1 hit point.
Yeah, sure. Right, of course. Don't forget to mark that off. Even though I am bleeding out, I can use my Autodoc to recover hit points, right?
That's correct.
Yeah, I definitely load my I think Porter like he can move enough. He almost kind of like fumbles with it, but he pulls one first aid cube out of his side pocket and kind of like fumbles it into the Autodoc and like slams it in.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna roll that.
Cool.
Ah! Come back. That's a first aid roll, right?
Yes.
Fine. I didn't need that one anyway.
But it's not your first aid. It rolls, I believe, 3 dice.
It's 3 dice at a
Great.
10.
Yeah.
Thank you. And
no reroll.
none of the bonuses count for it.
No, because it's not. You're not doing the roll.
I guess the armor does give people a +1 on tests to heal you. I don't know if that affects the Autodoc that is in the armor, because the Autodoc is what's providing that.
Right. No. The Autodoc it can assist. Basically, the Autodoc can assist other people at,
Sure.
at a +1 automatically.
All right, that's 3 hits.
Okay. Cool.
So is that 9 hit points?
It's not 9.
I think it's just 3.
Yeah, I'm just double checking it.
Is it?
Do.
I have it written down somewhere.
Yeah. So since your med kit is broken,
Oh, right.
Oh wait, no, I'm looking at the wrong thing. I'm looking at not auto duck. Okay, no. You heal the 3 and then 3 more. So it's 6 total.
Great.
Never been happier to be wrong.
Good. That's super helpful. And then yeah, if I can do anything to prepare for whatever major surgery I know that Eloise is going to do on me, I definitely do that. I don't know if that's like if that's what kind
You've
of role that
gotta
would be though.
repair your med kit first.
Yeah, your med kit, you can't, your
But I
injury
need
can't
3 first
be.
aid.
Yeah, if you have 3 first aid cubes, you can use that to fix back up
Yeah,
your med kit.
that was my last one.
Okay. So yeah, there's not a lot more you can do except for.
you can, if he has the action economy, I have 3 first aid cubes,
Okay.
so I can give those to you.
I mean, they're in the saddlebags. Pit stops in this cave with you guys.
Right?
Sure. Is that just I didn't recall. Is it just the 3 first aid cubes or is it also a repair roll?
No.
It was
It's just
three
Good.
getting it to get it
Okay,
operational
that's-
again. You need to spend 3 first aid cubes. So yeah, Porter like bloody hands, like fumbles in something into his auto dock, bumps up against pit stop, like opens up a saddlebag and starts like replacing parts on his like partially shattered med kit. It doesn't look very good. It's like a quick patch job. It's also covered in blood and like dirt now. But he does like manage to get it like so that like it starts lighting up and starts like reading like all of the like alerts like pop up like you're dying.
Alerts pop up, like,
Thank you.
doesn't
Yes,
seem
yes, I
sterile.
know.
Situation critical.
It's like I couldn't tell. Oh god. And I think he like once he actually has the thing fixed up, he falls at Pitstop's feet and just kind of leans against him, breathing really heavily.
Leo sees Dex run off, sees Porter. He sits there like kind of like breathing really heavily. He like closes his eyes, opens them up, and they like shift back to their normal color as like the wound in his like in his shoulder and the wound in his leg start to like seal up. And like a slightly like more recovered, he like nods and goes, "You lot tend to him. I'll make sure no one catches us." And he doesn't like disappear in the way that Dex does, but he does move into the cave and basically find a hiding spot. So that way, if anyone comes, he can jump them. Now I can see if people make it to where Dex is. Oh shoot, yeah. Okay. Yeah, Dex. 2 soldiers move in into your position. They like move up, they're like, "Over here!" And they don't like just like bum rush into you. They like kind of like are moving like tactically and like kind of like vanguarding, and when they see you, they pop a couple shots and pull back.
Okay.
So we'll see how they do.
I'm assuming I don't have any cover. from this, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Cool.
What do you have?
I have a 14.
14? All right. Hey, take some grit.
Okay. That's me.
So I can play to the gallery, which lets me count this 15. But that is my only success over you.
Okay.
So that's going to be 6 damage with 4 armor piercing.
Okay.
And then the next shot, and the other guy, go ahead. You're up against a 12.
not survivability. Whew. That's a 13, which is the highest number I'm allowed to count.
Okay. Yeah, they both fire off some shots. You duck, get winged like a little bit, like it clips your shoulder. But you manage to avoid the other shots as you kind of run from them, and the stones and dirt kick up behind you, as they're do, 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 and then they pull back, and then shout "Gunslingers here!" And that's their turn. Eloise is out of initiative. Gus, it's still you. You can hear some distant gunshots. You see that Dex is being shot at, but he's very far from you. And you can see where Leo is, held up about maybe 15, 20 feet from you guys down the cave.
Oh, do I do the dumb thing? No, I don't do the dumb thing. Oh, this is my last initiative.
Mhm.
Oh, it's so dumb. That's fine. I turn and I say, all right, y'all two got this, right? You're gonna be okay, Porter?
I'm trying.
Hey, Elle, you got him, right?
Yeah, of course. He's gonna be fine.
Yeah, he sure is. We'll go make sure Dex stays fine. And Gus runs to the mouth of the cave, and using Hulk and super jump, blasts out of it like the real literal Hulk.
Yeah, go ahead and roll athletics. Let's see how you do to clear the distance.
It's -2. Shoot, can't count this. 16. Oh well, it's 4 hits.
Okay, yeah. So it'll take you a quick action to clear the distance, but yeah, you basically with 2 big jumps, you burst out of the cave, jump up, land on a little plateau, and then run along that, and then leap off of that, and you see the 2 soldiers across the way as you leap over a bunch of the rocky terrain, and Dex, you see Gus land next to these 2 guys.
Cool. And I'm landing in a versatile position.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to hit one of these guys with a sleep toxin.
Okay.
Oof.
You are up against a 13.
Yeah, I have 3 15s.
Okay. Let me see how this guy does resisting. This is it excellent quality? Tier 2 sleep tonic? Is that what we're looking at?
Seth, it's in your inventory.
I believe that's correct. Sorry. Yeah, excellent quality, tier 2. So he's got -8 to resist.
Yeah. He does not.
Imagine.
He could have.
Shocking.
He had a few numbers he could roll to resist it. It's only 1 property. He just needs to get, because it's not extra potent or anything. So he just needed to get 1 success. But unfortunately, the punch also accrues negatives. So you land right down. You pop your fist up, and the device that Porter built into your gauntlet sticks out. This double pronged injector, And as the guy like turns and tries to like swipe at you, you just duck down and like get right up like into his arm, right in the vein there, and like lift him up for a second. And then like as like you let go, he just like crumples down and like is like and falls right asleep.
Cool. And then with my Fist of Fury attack, I'd like to do that to one other guy.
Sure. This guy did not do very well at all. He has a 7.
Cool. All right. Well, then that is 3 net successes, and it's a misfire.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. Wild.
Man, what property of transference is this? This is terrible.
I know. Dude.
I think
Did we kiss and I forgot about it?
it just degrades the quality of your fist weapon.
I mean, no, it can be anything. It doesn't have to just be that. So how many uses were there on these injectors? Did I say there were 3? Or were they one use?
Didn't think
there was a
didn't think
limited
you
number
said
of uses.
They
but it
were a
uses
consumable
tonic each time.
Right. There were
So
consumables.
there were 4.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay.
This one uses up an extra one, so you only have one more use of these makeshift injectors. As you like get this guy in the throat with it, and then as you like pull back, like the housing that is holding like these like kind of like injectors that can flip out like cracks, and one of like whatever tonic is in that one like leaks out onto your hand.
I like flick it at him. I'm like,
Yeah.
hope this works.
Yeah. But let's see how he does on resisting this tonic. How many net successes did you get on your hit?
3.
He does not resist either. So yeah, that guy falls down very asleep. You have 2 unconscious people at your feet, Gus.
Cool. And there's nobody else around?
At the moment, no. Though you hear shouting in like the mountains around as potentially people are converging on your position.
Cool. I assume I can't get to cover.
You cannot.
Cool. That's fine.
All right.
I turned to Dex. I'm like, hey, bud, we got this, right?
Yeah. It took you long enough, old man.
I'm so dang old.
Like an ancient tree.
Look at me. I broke this thing. I can't do technology anymore. I'm just ancient.
You're gonna be going gray soon, I bet. Surprise hasn't happened already.
Yeah. Just like pulls his hair and like looks at it a little bit.
All right. Yeah. You hear overhead the sound of a helicopter. And Gus, I need you to roll a defense test.
Cool. Sounds fun. Sounds normal. Sounds totally cool. Yeah, I got my 15.
Oh, actually, this is full auto. So, Dex, you need to also roll a defense test. And you're both up against a 14.
Yeah, I passed.
I will spend this last secret to not get shot by whatever this helicopter is firing and count this 15.
Okay.
I don't want to find out what's in there.
So that puts you at 0 grit.
0 grit.
Okay. Yeah, so helicopter comes overhead, and in like a little side panel, there's a soldier with like a mounted gun who just says it's not quite as big as a dog of war, but it's like, you know, a large machine
Heavy
gun.
firearm on a turret.
Yeah. He just, and both of you just barely like manage to get out of the way as the area starts getting like hit and peppered with these large like bullets just raining down on you. Then I also need another defense test from Gus. And Gus, I will bamboozle you twice on this.
Cool.
So you're at a -2.
Great. What you got for me? Oh, I'll get 2 grit.
Yeah, you're at 8.
Nice. How'd you do?
Spending 2 more grit, you get grit. As I play to the gallery, so I can count these 3 17s I rolled.
Ouch.
You're up against a 17.
Is the difference between a 12 and a 13 anything?
No, because my next highest is a 10, and then I have an 8 and a 3. So
Great, yeah. Light me up.
yeah, Jesus,
Shockingly apt.
that's so brutal.
3 17s.
Yeah. Hold on, I have to adjust my
Rolling
grit.
at 17s. Jeez.
Well, I
Who
wasn't
is
rolling
it?
at 17s. I was rolling at 16s, but then I rolled 3 17s.
That'll happen.
So you are at 9 grit. Don't forget, because I did spend grit. Okay. So, you take 24 damage, 9 of which is armor piercing.
And that's a tier 4 injury or tier 3?
Depending on how tough your armor is, if you have any armor left.
It's a tier 4 injury.
Okay.
He's getting that arm
I
today.
got
He's
4
going
toughness.
for it.
Yeah.
20
what's
damage
20?
is a class 4.
Yeah, you would need to
damage.
have also like barrel chested or something to have enough toughness to.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Oh. Yeah, let's roll for the arm, baby. Let's go.
No.
But see, the thing is, because okay,
Can you
So
you
how
still
much
have an
was it
injury?
again?
You still have an injury slot open, right?
I have 1. How much damage was it again?
24, 9 of which is armor piercing.
God, 9 of which is armor piercing. It's 24. That cuts it down to 15. Yeah, I would fill up my overflow. Yeah. I have to. I'd take an injury.
You could also, not that I'm saying you should, you could also spend 1 grit and
To
just
go
be,
to down.
like have all your hit points.
Oh wait, no, he can't. Is he doomed? He's doomed.
Oh no, that's right.
That's right. Gus is
I
doomed.
forgot you were doomed.
Yeah, he can't. That's the 1 grit expenditure he can't do. He can't stop himself from just dying to damage.
This is so bad. Amazing. I love it.
Oh my god.
You got a lot of blood.
Which is a good thing, because it's starting to bleed out of me.
Yeah, you're bleeding out now too.
Just a little bit.
Yeah. So the gunfire rains out, and then from a panel on the in the armor of the helicopter, a like hot red thin beam goes and like you feel this hot heat against your body, and as you like turn, you barely turn in time as the thinness of the beam that is like kind of like currently like a little like poker poking at you goes and becomes super like charged, and this big beam of laser flies out, and you turn just in time that it pierces right through you, but like through like it doesn't like hit your bone, it doesn't hit any vital organs, and you like step back, and you like feel like just like blood pouring down the side of your body as it's basically carved a line out of like your shoulder underneath your arm. And now, Dex, I need you to roll a defense.
Yeah, no, I understand. I remember details.
Addy is not doing well.
Dex, I mean, I guess I'll
I have a 14. It's the number I can count.
Okay, I do have a 15, but you do eliminate all the other successes I rolled.
I don't think it'll matter.
And
actually, it might matter just the tiniest
amount. So that's gonna be 8 damage with 9 armor piercing.
Oh, you sure it's not 7? Couldn't be 7?
No, it's not 7.
Oh, but no, this also ignores toughness, right? It's a laser.
It's been a minute since I've shot you guys with a laser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I wrote the gear section.
It does ignore toughness. That's correct.
Yeah, Dex is on the ground.
Yeah, one shot rings
exactly does it.
One shot rings out, hits Gus in the arm, carving a line out of his torso, and then as the like helicopter banks, Dex, you get ready, and then from a different like slit, just like a little down and to the left, a second comes out, and you try to like move out of the way, but it tracks you and gets ahead of you, and as you kind of try to skid to a stop, it goes and hits you like right in the chest and like spins you around, melting the armor that Eloise like built.
You know what's
around.
actually totally wild? The armor is fine.
Yeah,
You have too much piercing.
yeah, I know. So just melting that one little spot on the armor of Eloise's construction to pierce through through like your lung, and you fly down onto the ground. And that's that turn.
Taste for blood, and he's got a taste for arms.
Dex, it is your turn.
But I lose 2 overflow.
You lose 2 overflow, and then you roll an endure test.
Come on, baby. So I'm rolling at 7s here. Okay. Well, that's 2 hits. One of them's a 7. Oh, and I have reliability. Okay. That's 4 hits on endure. Give me my fucking turn.
Yeah, you're gonna have with 4 successes on
Oh my god.
on an endure test. Holy crap!
Shoot the pilot.
Y'all, I rolled a 1, a 7, and a 15, and the 15 turned into another 1, and then the 7 exploded into a 3. These dice hate Henry Fawcett.
4 successes mean you take your turn as normal. You get a rush of energy. You're good to go. But then you will go back to being down. So you don't.
That's fine.
You got to get the 5 successes to no longer be considered down.
Nah, well, I only roll 3 dice and I have no grit. That ain't happening. Yeah. God, it's a shot I don't think I can make, but I will attempt to make it. I'm going to shoot the pilot of this helicopter.
Okay.
I don't know. That sounds particularly difficult.
It will be a particularly difficult shot if he lands it.
Yeah, what's his cover? Very good.
I'm pretty sure it's excellent. I'm just double checking really quick. Yes, it is excellent cover. So you're at a -3 in addition to whatever negatives you might have. But you get to ignore the wound modifiers because this rush.
Really?
Yeah, that's what the 4 successes lets you take a turn, no wound modifiers, as you get a burst of energy to do something.
Okay, well, I still don't. It seems unlikely that I hit him, but I try. I certainly try.
You can go it strong if you need.
I have no grit.
It's that last minute Chalmers from the half court shot. That's a special reference for all you people in Lawrence.
I don't know. Maybe you can beat this. I'm gonna double check. His cover's really doing a lot of work for him. I have to see what his target is.
Oh, that explodes now. Actually, that's also reliability.
Yeah. So he can count the 16.
Yeah, no, I have a 10.
Yeah. If he didn't have the cover, he wouldn't have been able to count that 16. Yeah, you get hit, and as you're like spinning and flying down, like just like clear eyes, like your training kicks in, you fire a shot and it like breaks the window in front of him, the like supposedly bulletproof window that shatters because you shot it with a hard caliber pistol.
Run, motherfucker.
He can't. Well, I guess, yeah, he has some movement before he hits the ground again.
Yeah. I don't think a quick action away from here is meaningfully different than anywhere else.
I could say, all I'll say is that might be enough to make full auto negligible. Not able to happen.
I will, that's a helicopter. I will get into cover with my last quick action after I like shatter the window.
Yeah. You can get into moderate cover.
Cool.
So they'll have to like reposition, and if you can get into cover in a way that basically like if they reposition to ignore your cover, then they put Gus into cover, like that kind of thing. Like basically you use the terrain.
There's a big rock and we're on other sides.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, you like spin and like instead of hitting the ground, like your full body was gonna land right on the ground, but you catch yourself, like your training kicks in, you widen your stance, get the shot off, and then use the momentum to like run and like break line of sight with the helicopter as you like slam into the wall and slide down to your knees, trying to get a breath in through your scorched lung. Anyone who is paying any attention to Leo's point of view watches as a soldier tries really hard to creep up on your guys' cave and then gets shot in the back of the head with a bolt and is dead.
Nice.
That's what he gets.
Like basically just like it's like in the shadows, like, you know, he like hears it first and this guy's like creeping down, like he's turned the soldier's like turned off his radio, he heard where you guys were and is like creeping towards where like Eloise and Porter are, and like walks right by Leo, and Leo like slowly raises up his dart gun, steps out from his cover and just and then like hits the dude right in the brainstem and he falls down dead.
What a nightmare. I'm so glad he's on our set this time.
That's 3.
Out of how many? 6 or 7?
6.
It's basically just this chopper.
Yeah, there's you know that there's 3 people in this chopper. There's Henry Fawcett and then the pilot and then the person on the turret.
If I get another turn. There's no way I will. But if I get another turn.
All right. Porter. You lose a hit point.
What? Yeah, I certainly do. Perfect. I have my medkit back. I'm gonna try and treat this injury then.
Okay.
What?
Right?
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't have anything else I can do. I've got to try something. I know. Yeah.
Can I help? I don't have any initiative left.
Oh, that was a question for me. No, the answer is no.
Yeah. All right.
I heard
You
you
only
talk.
get one shot. You only get one shot. Do it right. Oh my god.
Yeah, if you
Oh my
fail,
God.
if you don't, and you
How much grit do you
have physician, so you automatically do like basically you need 5 successes, I believe, to treat an injury, a class 4 injury. You automatically do 1 because you're a physician, so you just need 4 successes.
Yeah. I think the talent just for salesmanship purposes called doctor now.
It's
but
actually
that's
no,
what I have.
it used to be doctor, now it's physician.
Oh, and now it's physician. I'm the one not out of the loop. That's whatever.
It's because there's a path called doctor.
I also have field medic, which is why I can heal as if out of combat.
Yep. It's why you are able to do this at all.
Yeah, right, exactly. I'm looking for any other benefit that I have. No, that's it. All right, so rolling 4 dice for 14s with 1 reliability.
Just do it.
Oof. Jeez. Come on!
Oh, sorry. This is gonna be worse. There are negatives. I was thinking about Eloise's upcoming turn and forgot to tell you that there are negatives. You're working on yourself, which is difficult. So that's a -2. And then the conditions in this cave are really bad, so I'm gonna give you an additional -1. So you're rolling at -3.
Did you get any successes?
Tell me you. Seth, tell me you did.
Not a -3. I mean, there's nothing I can do. I got two
Spend
successes.
Spend grit.
Great.
You can twist the knife.
How much grit do you have?
Yeah, 6.
I've got enough.
On
I
a
guess
night
that's
twice.
true.
You
I've
saved
got
your
6. I
damn
can
life.
do it twice, and I can get
Put
down to
that
2.
knife deep inside yourself, twist it around to get the stitches going, and then pull it out. You're a physician, Porter.
No. That's what I was planning on doing the whole time with no advice from anybody else. So that's exactly what I do.
Porter's patting himself in the chest. Live, damn it! Live!
Come on! Don't die on me!
So Elle, you watch as you help Porter turn himself over, and you prop him up because he's got a through and through. He's got injuries, like a shot that went through his back and out.
I love this, but he moved away from me. I'm not next to him.
I mean, you were at pit stop.
No.
That's yeah. You were all in the cave together. Pit stop was right there.
Cool. I'm okay with it.
You prop him up, following his instructions, and he takes the med kit and it sparks as he reconfigures it, and he sets it against it kind of latches on over the wounds in his front, and then he reaches around with a device and tells you to put that device in the bullet hole in the back, and it magnetizes, pulls out the shrapnel. And it's extremely painful, Porter, as this thing rips all of the shrapnel and shards of metal and dirt and grime out of the wound, out your back. And then you detach it from your abdomen, and now with the wound kind of clear of all those obstructions, you just start filling it with synthetic skin, and it starts stitching itself closed as it happens.
There's definitely one artery that is still bleeding, and I kind of have to hold it together and basically use a tiny laser to cauterize the outside of the nerve so that it's still there. I'm just holding it with my fingers, and then filling that one with a little bit of synthetic skin. Definitely, probably screaming the entire time.
Yeah. Gus and Dex. There's a lot going on. There's a helicopter over which, so you don't hear Porter screaming, but Leo certainly does. As it echoes through the now empty caves, as Leo has dispatched the one soldier that was creeping up on you. And with that, your
Yeah,
class 4 injury
that's the
is completely healed. And
you think? Can I
and
just
now Gus
just
has
need to
one.
breathe for a second? Yay!
Y'all will get to me. It's fine.
Yeah, Porter. So you don't really have any other actions left, but was there anything else with your turn?
No, nothing else. He just says, I just need to. Can I just sit and breathe for a second? We got time, right? I don't. Doesn't matter. Ow. Ow.
Okay.
And he does that for like the next 10 minutes for sure.
Mhm.
All right, that's one class 4 injury treated.
I don't like the way he said that.
We move back to the top of initiative. Gus, you lose 1 hit point. You don't have a turn, but you still lose a hit point because you have a turn, even though, well, like you have an initiative slot that happens where you lose the hit point.
I wasn't sure how that was ruled upon.
Yeah.
Good to know.
Yeah. It's the same with like if someone's downed but they're out of initiative. When it gets their turn, they still like have the like loss of overflow and stuff like that. It's basically you have an initiative slot that is 0, but at the top of initiative because you cowboyed up.
It's so there's not this weird fringe benefit to being slow.
I was hoping maybe there was like a weird fringe benefit to being slow.
All right. So Henry gonna go. They are going to continue focus. You gonna try and finish Dex off? God. Henry is going to shoot at Gus once at least, because Gus is still standing and glowing.
Henry with the laser.
Henry with the laser.
I'm gonna bamboozle you 3 times.
Okay. 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 Well, currently you were up against a 9.
I've got a 16.
Okay, cool.
There's no way with 3 bamboozles he can make a 16 work.
Yeah. He can't. I had to
Legally can't.
Yeah, because his target was 16. I was trying to think of like what his next thing is gonna be.
Okay.
So yeah, you the beam comes down, you're ready for it this time, blood kind of like seeping down your side. You like start moving like this hot pain in your chest as it skirts around, and you like manage to like with really quick like inhuman speed like burst out of the way right as it like goes and like scorches the ground that you were standing on. And now he's gonna fire another shot at you.
Cool. 3 more.
3 more bamboozle. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. I'm feeling this one might not matter.
Remember, you get a bunch more reliability from versatile.
It's every roll that turn. I don't know if it counts
sure.
for like defense.
So he has currently a 9, but I have an option with my grit.
I've got a 10.
Okay. Grit option it is. I will play to the gallery so I can count this 13.
I'm gonna spend that grit back to make my unlock.
Okay. Only once then, right?
Yeah.
How many dice do you typically roll on
Oh,
a?
wait. I only rolled 4 dice.
Okay, well,
Okay,
don't make your own luck. Roll the 5th die that you get to roll, because I was like, you don't. If you roll 5 dice on a defense, you don't get to.
Yeah. I was like, wait, hold on. Where's the 5th one?
You spent the time in the gym making your own luck.
I got 4 new dice, and so I rolled the 4 new dice because they're pretty.
Oh, okay. I thought for a second you meant like you just rolled 4 more dice in this test. I was like, wait, hold on, Roman. You don't get to just re-roll the test.
No. And the 5th die came up in 11.
Okay, cool. So the 13 makes it through. That's 8 damage, 9 of which is armor piercing and ignores your weapons or your armor's toughness.
9 of which is armor piercing.
Yeah, so it's 8 direct to hit point basically with no toughness to reduce it.
Cool. I'm into my overflow.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. Gus, you avoid the first shot. You move around, getting like in position to try and like leap, like maybe at the helicopter, maybe to cover, maybe somewhere. You're trying to like decide what to do, but you're kind of a sitting duck as the helicopter like swings around and like gives you a different broadside, and then out of one of the slits in that side, a laser fires out. And this one just hits you right like right below your lungs, like in your stomach, like in the gut. Doesn't fully go through your entire body, just like cooks the inside, and you just drop down, like all of your muscles tensing up. And like the glow of your illuminated powers begins to fade as you fall unconscious there on the ground.
Cool.
God, yeah. Okay. Henry is going. I'm going to give everyone 1 grit. Henry's going to double down.
You absolute bastard.
And he's going to land the helicopter.
That's a good move. That's smart. That's smart of him.
He's gonna come over and he's gonna stabilize Gus.
Honestly, probably. He would prefer you alive.
That'd be cool. That'd be tight.
He lands the helicopter. He doesn't exit it yet, even though he actually has the action economy to do so. Right now, he's just focusing. The helicopter like kind of swoops around, and Henry like grabs the like co-pilot controls and like brings it down as the other guy's like getting glass like out of his like uniform. And he brings the helicopter down. And it lands right next to where Gus is and around the cover from Dex. And Dex, it is your final turn before initiative is rolled again. So you lose 2 more overflow.
Yeah. So there's...
Or you can spend a grit not to.
I'm gonna save that for...
Yeah, I didn't know where you were in your overflow. So I was like just making sure that you knew it was an option if you were just gonna sit there and die.
I will just... I'm just gonna let all my blood come out. The electricity in my brain will cease. Is that a focus action or is that a quick action? I don't know if I'm allowed to know this. Does Henry Fawcett have another turn?
He does.
But there's no way for me to hold my turn until
Correct.
he does it.
Yeah, because
right?
he did his turn already during this round.
I have no things in my inventory that do anything as best I can tell for this situation. So I will spend my focus action improving this cover.
Yeah. Well, I guess you have to. You had to roll endure to see what you.
I'll roll endure, see if I can do anything.
Yeah, you got to see what happens if you.
Okay. Got a reliability. That's 1 success.
Okay. You
I
can't.
believe I can like limp. Or like crawl?
You basically you can't improve your cover because you don't have any actual actions to spend, but you can move a little bit.
I'm good here.
Yeah, you just kind of shoulder up, like you're like fading in and out. Like you saw like a little bit of what happened to Gus, but you were like kind of blacked out there for a second. The pain kicks in again as you like barely get enough air to like keep like breathing into your lungs, and like you just kind of twist against the rock and like just kind of push yourself up against. You're like, what's gonna happen?
Can I talk over the telepathic link?
Yeah.
I don't think I say anything. Yeah, that's me.
Okay. Believe Porter's the only one with initiative left.
Is that true even with me being set back last session?
Oh no, I didn't adjust that. All right, cool. You're out then.
Okay.
So Gus, it is your turn. You lose 2 overflow.
Cool.
And now you can roll an endure test to see if there's anything you can actually do with your turn.
Even without initiative?
Oh wait, yeah, no, sorry. That's it. You just lose it. You have the 0 initiative. It's weird because he's at the top.
You can just skip me.
Yeah. So, but you
Fine.
do still lose the 2 overflow. It happens at your 0 initiative tracker, which is at the top of initiative because it's a fun, funky game. And yeah, the kind of window that person was aiming a turret out comes up, and Henry Fawcett walks out, like rifle in hand, comes up to you, Gus. You're fading in and out of consciousness. You like see him for a second, it blacks out. You see him again. He's like kneeling down, and he puts a collar around your neck, and you feel a pinpoint in the back of your neck, and like your illuminated powers like become suppressed. And then he pulls out an injector and puts you can roll a negate test if you want, but he puts a sleep tonic in you.
Nah, it's fine.
Cool. You are now asleep. He also like stabilizes you in the same kind of act as he has like a fucking like med kit to do. So like it doesn't take a lot to like get someone just kind of like not dying. So he just does that.
Yeah. I think Gus recognizes like maybe he'll help something.
And I think with that, we're gonna drop out of initiative. And Dex, you are going to be approached by the soldier who was using the big gun. He is going to he's going to try and put you in containment manacles, and knock you unconscious as well. And like stabilize you. I don't know if there's if you want to resist that at all, attempt to, or not.
Does Henry Fawcett try to stabilize Gus from his bleeding out?
That's the next thing I'm going to have to roll. But like right now, they basically gave Gus hit points. I'm just moving through it right now as we come out of initiative. I'm going to roll a test and see if Gus is actually just going to die.
This is so annoying, and I don't mean to do it, but we've never had somebody actually die here. So the thing is that overflow does not reset.
I know.
So hypothetically, if Gus had like 1 overflow left on his turn. Okay, cool. I
basically like, I didn't want to go through saying, Gus, you're unconscious, but you gained 6 hit points. Let's take 1 off. I'm doing it all right now. Because yeah, Gus is still losing hit points. The thing that Henry did was give Gus hit points to lose while they could then treat his injury. But first he had to put him unconscious. But also simultaneously, Dex is also being restrained and made unconscious. Dex, you can roll to negate the sleep tonic if you want, but it's up to you.
I assume in this state I don't have the strength to like really do anything other than try not to be put to sleep.
Okay. Yeah. I mean,
Is that-
that's correct. You won't be able to like defend against anything. Like
Yeah,
you are a
okay.
sitting duck, but technically you still get to roll negate to avoid the toxin that is being put into you, unless you don't want to.
No, I have one question, Tommy.
Yeah.
How many people did Black Star come here with that we know of?
God, I'd have to count. I know I had I have the number here. I just need to. 18, 20, 30, 36, 37, I think is the number. Wait, no, that's sorry. That's in this last fight. So 37 here, plus whatever kills you guys did prior to. It was around 40-ish, or like 40, 45, I think.
Cool. Dex, as he is being put out, I don't resist the sleep tonics, is 39 for the 5 of us.
And so
do they stabilize Dex?
they will stabilize you. Yeah, they stabilize you. You're at 0 hit points. You're not losing overflow anymore. I'm gonna roll to see if Gus's injury can be treated, or if they're gonna have to keep him on a fucking IV, of healing tonics.
If you take this thing off me, I got a power I can use.
You are unconscious.
Yeah.
No one knows what's going on right now with the two of you. Oh my god, this is hilarious.
And he created misfire and he killed himself.
No. So
You have to spend the grit.
yeah, I have to. I'm not spending grit. No one is being negatively affected by this, so I don't like. No one's getting grit. Out of it.
The fact that they have the capability means that like we don't get to interface.
Let me tell you why I think if you spend grit on this to ensure that they accomplish their goals, we should get grit. You are ensuring that Dex and Gus get captured, and that me and Roman cannot make new characters who appear later in the session to save us.
I mean, I don't give a damn where the grit goes. Just spend it and save my ass.
No, they're spending the grit. What I was trying to. I was spending the grit no matter what to play to the gallery, so I could have 5 successes on this. But I. But I had to decide if you guys got grit, because typically when something like this happens, it's whoever's being like negatively affected by the grit expenditure is the person who's like is rewarded a grit. And I'm like, well, you're not being negative. I'm saving your life, but I'll take Dan's point. The fact that you don't get to just like come in fresh a fresh drifter just in the mountains randomly. Badlands Pete comes jumping down or something.
This doesn't negatively affect Gus. It negatively affects Roman. Give Roman a grit.
Yeah, everyone gets a grit as Dex and Gus are fully captured. And yeah, we are out of initiative. You guys have lost your connection with Dex and Gus. Last thing you saw was the fading in and out view of Henry Fawcett approaching Gus with a collar, and then a brief glimpse of Dex's eyes as they started tending to his wounds and restraining him as well. So I'm gonna bring us back to as like that happens, you don't hear the engine of the helicopter coming. Leo starts creeping back to where you guys are. And you hear like thunder rolling in as like a massive like rainstorm begins like pushing into the Punched Peaks.
Cool.
You alive back here?
Yeah. Are you okay? Here, come. And I think I'll go to L, and I don't think you have any. Do you have any injuries that need to be treated, or you just need a health tonic?
That's to you,
L.
Leo. Oh, me. I'm very hurt and
Yeah, okay.
injured and all that, but
Okay.
I don't.
We're not going to be able to get them back. if the first thing they do is shoot us and you die, come here. And I am gonna treat her injuries and give her a health tonic. It's tier 2.
Okay, so that's 6 hit points.
So it's +6. It does have the unfortunate effect of making you deaf once it's finished, but that's fine because you can just communicate with us telepathically. Sorry.
It's fine.
And then which injury are you attempting to treat?
Whatever the worst one is.
I have a 3, a 2, and a 1.
Oh yeah, let's get that 3 out of there.
Okay. Is that the like fractured?
Yeah, I have a
Bone?
broken arm.
Yeah, that's 4 successes.
Cool. So yeah, basically you like print out this like kind of like almost athletic tape and like wrap it on her arm in like a kind of a weird like spiderweb pattern, and then like a few seconds after you get it all in position, it actually like tightens and like and constricts and snaps her like bone back into place as like kind of a makeshift cast.
Sorry.
And
I'm
before
sorry.
you have time to treat her other 2 injuries, Eloise, you are deaf, so only Porter and Leo here. Eloise Reynolds.
Oh,
Take that meeting now.
do they know that we're here? Can they see us?
I mean, I can hear it through them, right?
Yeah. You hear it. You like Porter's able to transmit it into your brain.
Okay.
Is he within sight line?
No. This is echoing like they're like shouting into the cave from outside.
Gotcha. Just through the sorry, go ahead.
Okay.
Do you go? Are you gonna try and talk to him?
Yeah. I think I have to. I think Leo's gonna keep you here.
He looks at you, Eloise, raises an eyebrow, and then looks at Porter and like goes, "Now, I don't need to make you do nothing, Porter, right? You understand it'd be dumb as hell for you to walk out there right now."
I can't let you sacrifice yourself again. You know that.
You know, if you all had just let me surrender in the first place, maybe we all wouldn't be on the back
There's
foot.
a reason we didn't let you. It's not our fault. You threw me and put me in a bad position. We could have all made it out.
You should have retreated when we were supposed to at the beginning.
I can't.
You
leave
got
you.
too
I
excited.
told
You can't be trusted in combat, Porter.
I'm gonna give you 10 seconds to come out, or
My leg is stuck.
gunslinger.
Hold on.
All right, you'll get a full 30 seconds, but then Gunslinger here is gonna, well, he's gonna walk the path of Alana, I suppose. You hear like a distant like as like the
He
laser
ain't
like
Trip
powers up.
Dick. And
Leo steps up and says, "Ms. Reynolds, you do what you gotta do."
you died. You both died.
And his hand moves slightly towards his projectile weapon, Porter, as he looks at you and he goes, "Now do I gotta make you make the smart choice here? Or are you gonna see some sense?" And Leo Riggs is gonna challenge you, Porter.
What?
Fuck off.
Oh, I had to unmute just for that. Now me and Gus are the Greek chorus of ghosts.
Ooh, what will happen?
God.
So you roll discipline, or you could roll challenge to resist because you do have playing the player. But I have to imagine probably discipline's better for you. Maybe not. I don't know.
No, I don't think that's true. Let me double check though. No, yeah, I would be rolling 5 dice and an 8 for challenge. So, I'm going to. Yeah, I'm gonna spend 3 grit to bamboozle.
Okay.
Sorry, hold on. Ooh!
This is such a wild session.
Y'all, I've played Manifest for a long time. This is the wildest shit to happen in a cave, period.
I don't know. We did bury that ghost killing gun or whatever in the
Eddie,
first episode.
We fought fire cultists who wanted to like eat a heart so they could become the sun. And this is the wildest shit to happen in a cave.
That's right, that did happen.
It was really easy.
You are up against a 9, Porter.
Yeah. There's no grit I can spend on that. That's a high of 6.
Okay. He gets 2 net successes over you. So if this goes into quick draw, he does have a +1 to quick draw against you. As the person who failed the challenge, Porter, you get first right of refusal. You can concede if you like, and then Leo Riggs will not be able to harm you in any way, but we will have to decide what happens. It's pretty clear what he wants to have happen here is for you to concede and stay put. But if you want to try and quick draw him, you can.
My skill in quick draw is at a 4, so I don't think I'll be doing that.
You would need a lot more grit to bamboozle me, a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what? You could always shoot the moon, right?
Porter moves his hands away from his weapons and holds them out, but he looks this man dead in his eye. He says, "I'm not going to forget this."
You say that to Leo Riggs?
To Leo.
Yeah. You can see like the slight light beams that are in the caves are able to like kind of let you see his eyes through one of his eyes through one of the lenses on his raven mask. And he goes, "Fine by me. Get out of here, Miss Reynolds. We'll come for you. We're all going to the same place anyways."
Yeah. So
and so just to complete the challenge concession, the agreement here is that basically he's not going to restrain you or anything because you do intend not to like leave until he says it's okay for you to leave. Basically.
Yeah.
Cool. A gentleman's agreement.
Yeah. So I dump all of my inventory. My armor's already busted, so I dump like literally. I mean, that just comes off with a button as previously described. And yeah, so now just I leave all of my stuff here. Except for my Omni tool, I'd like to configure that to be able to read what he says to me.
You're like gonna have like a fucking like text to speech to text like display over your eyes so you can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also I'm not gonna take off my shield. I will bring that with me. Okay. And I take the medium explosive with a detonator.
Okay.
Smart. Always have a bomb.
Yeah, and I will walk out.
Okay, so that's gonna be like in a satchel because it's not a small explosive. It's not like easy to. It's not like a grenade.
Can I tape it in between my shoulder blades?
No, it can be on a backpack on your back.
No, like in.
I think you're doing a Die Hard, but no.
Okay, then it's fine. I will just. I think I'm just gonna carry it like a briefcase. Like
You have a bomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a bomb.
So you walk. The only other thing is, do you keep the telepathic link up between you, Leo, and Porter, or do you drop it?
For now, I imagine that eventually it's going to get dropped.
Okay. So, Eloise, you step behind Leo.
I drop Porter out of it.
You step behind. You like dispense of your stuff. Grab the medium explosive. Keep your Omni tool. And a little like little display comes up over your eye.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you step back around Leo, who is standing.
Yeah.
Who is standing?
Go ahead.
What's going on?
No, go for it.
Okay. Who is standing extremely casually, but somehow imposingly, in between Porter and the exit. As he just kind of sits there, almost leaning up against the wall, just stationary, just like watching Porter. And you take one last look before you leave, and you see the like anger and pain in Porter's face clear as day.
Yeah, and as I turn around to look at his face, I do go, I do love you, and I'm sorry. And I leave before he says anything to me because that's the dramatic bitch I guess I am.
Yep.
And
Porter, your telepathic connection with her leaves.
Yeah.
So it's just Eloise and Leo. And Elle, you walk into the network of caves. You see the light coming through the mouth, and as you walk, your eyes slowly adjust to the image of 2 Black Star mercenaries and Henry Fawcett. Behind them, quite a ways, or behind Henry Fawcett and one of the soldiers, there's one soldier who is standing over an unconscious Gus, who is completely restrained with a collar you can recognize as a mind cuff around his neck. It looks like to be of a slightly different design. It's not. It looks like it's somehow related to the tech that they were using on those extended poles, but like this is a newer version of it. One soldier just stands there, like a gun, not quite like up against Gus, but like still like ready. And then down on the ground, unconscious and completely constrained within containment manacles, his hands locked down against his waist, his ankles locked together, just kind of floating a couple feet up off the ground in front of Henry Fawcett is an unconscious Dex, and Henry is just sitting there casually with his proto-martyr laser rifle glowing and ready to fire with the barrel pointed directly at Dex's head. And you step out of the shadows of the cave into the light. This is the first time you've seen, I think, like with your own eyes, Henry Fawcett.
I haven't ever seen him. It's always been through his eyes.
Like from Dex saw him from a good distance away. But he's like a larger man, wide frame, a little bit of a gut. He's got huge mustache with like it's brown with like gray in it. He's got like tattoos and scars. He's wearing like a very like well-made like desert camo type armor. And as he turns and looks at you, you see on his shoulder a mounted gun that like moves with his eyes. And he looks at you, smiles, revealing a couple teeth replaced with golden metal. And he goes, "Pleased to finally meet you." And that's where we're going to take a break.
Oh my gosh.
Jeez. Come on, man.
I got 9:51 on the clock. We're going to take a 15-minute break here. So we're going to see you all around like 10:05. Oh, what's going to happen? Who knows? I certainly don't.
Yes, you do.
right, we're back. So, if you're just joining us, the situation in the caves has continued to get more
Worse.
resolved, but worse. As both Dex and Gus have been rendered unconscious and restrained by Henry Fawcett and his remaining mercenaries. Porter is not being held at gunpoint, being held at the threat of gunpoint by Leo Riggs in the cave at Eloise's request, as Eloise has gone out to speak with Henry Fawcett, and Porter did not want her to do that, but Leo Riggs, ever the pragmatist, understood Eloise's play and thought Porter was wrong, and so threatened to quick draw him if he tried to do anything stupid. Eloise just stepped out. She unloaded almost all of her gear. I believe if I remember correctly, all you have is your Omni tool and a bomb, right?
And my shield.
Oh, you brought your shield with? Okay.
Yeah, because if he just tries to sucker punch me right at the beginning,
Sure.
I don't trust him.
So you step out looking not great, Eloise. Your skin is cracked and burnt from you overextending your illuminated powers. You've been shot at. You have some injuries. You have this recently reset arm that was fractured that Porter was able to treat. And you've stepped out to see Gus ways away from you with one mercenary standing over him, and then Dex with Henry Fawcett and another mercenary standing next to him as he floats on containment manacles horizontally in front of Henry Fawcett. And Henry Fawcett has the gun basically to his head, grins at you, says, "Pleased to make your acquaintance," and then his eyes go down and sees the bomb in your arms and goes, "Now, Miss Reynolds, what half-cocked idea do you have coming out here with that?"
It ain't half cocked, that's for sure. My brain works 5 times better than you on my worst day.
You look like you've had a hard one.
And yet I'm still quicker than you are.
Way I see it, you tried to cut a deal with me a while back. Protect the life of your friends. What happened to good old Mr. Janus? I would love to look that son of a bitch in the face.
You'll have to find it first.
Yeah, go ahead and roll manipulate.
Okay. I would like to bamboozle.
That makes sense. I was waiting to roll dice because I was like, there's no way this isn't a bamboozle situation. How many times would you like to bamboozle me?
Let's see, what is my manipulate? 10. I guess 3. I think it's a 3 bamboozle.
Okay, puts you down to 7 grit. Oh no. I rolled very poorly. I have a 2, a 3, and a 5.
Okay.
I should have made some popcorn to watch the second half of the session.
I also have a 5.
Okay.
I will spend 2 grit to twist the knife.
Okay. So you get 2 net successes over him.
That's enough for him to believe me, right? Usually?
Yeah. Just like no knock-on added effects or anything like that.
Right.
He goes, shame. Would have been nice to kill him myself.
I don't feel like you needed to get your hands dirty.
Well, you can prevent them from getting just a little bit more dirty here. And he kind of like, waves like the barrel next to Dex's head. And he goes, you go ahead and come nice and quiet. Let us dose you up with some of our fine tonics, and we'll spirit you far, far away from here. And I'll leave, I guess I was going to leave your gunslinger friend here with whoever else you had. Fucking Raven, I think, from the FPC. But I assume he's buried in that cave in as well, so if you ain't got no one for me to leave him with, I guess now we're at a bit of an impasse. I am bringing a gunslinger
once again,
with me.
I know. Once again, I'm well ahead of you. Do you have a machinery cube?
Got supplies.
I can time those locks.
You're gonna leave this man beaten and battered in the middle of the Punch Peaks with a thunderstorm rolling in? I might be a mercy just to shoot him here, don't you think?
If you want to end up in pieces too.
We don't need to come to that. You think he can make it?
He's nothing if not capable.
He eyes you a little bit and he goes, you go ahead and put the bomb down. Whatever other gear you might be hiding. We can set these...
Badland signs?
He like looks a little bit and he like kind of sees the display and like he notices like there's like little like glowing like text and he goes, well, yeah, what are you? And he sees like beep, 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 on your like little like some text appear as he talks. He goes, and instead of speaking, he just signs yes to you.
Okay.
With his hands. I guess with this one free hand that's not holding the trigger.
Toss over the cube.
He nods to the soldier next to him. That soldier reaches out, pulls out some supplies, and like tosses them. It lands about halfway between you and Fawcett.
I move halfway.
Oop.
With the bomb.
Go ahead and lay it on the ground there.
I want to see the timer set before we do anything else.
Go ahead and roll manipulate.
Okay.
See if you can convince him to let you call some of the shots here.
Man, if only there was some way I could assist.
Yeah. I think Leo's giving you the play-by-play. Maybe.
Leo's quietly, just patiently staring at Porter, just waiting. Like I said, it's this weird, like he's not like standing in front of Porter like bodyguard style. He's actually at this point leaning up against the wall and he's like fixing some of his gear and everything. But somehow Porter, like there is a line. And like every time you get anywhere close to that line, his eyes just move over to you and he raises an eyebrow.
Being me, I do feel obligated to ask, does holding an active bomb give you any positive bonuses to manipulate?
If anything would.
No, because she's not threatening him with the bomb. If she was doing,
she's explicitly threatening him with the bomb.
If she was doing intimidation, she could get some bonuses. But right now, they're just talking.
Okay.
I assume Eloise doesn't want to roll intimidate.
I don't want to roll intimidate.
Oh, were there any bamboozles or anything?
No.
You're up against an 11.
Okay. Well, I have 3 8s.
Okay. You understand that at this distance, you would be extremely hurt if not killed by this explosive. Dex would probably be killed by this explosive. Gus would probably be fine out of the range. He'd get a little scorched, but like survive. And given the distance from you right now, Henry would probably be able to get to a safe enough place to not die from the explosive. So while you would rob him of you as like a captive, you would be killing Dex and leaving him with Gus. At this moment, like basically, unless you want to try and figure out a way to get the bomb like right up by him or take some kind of different tact, he feels comfortable enough to continue calling the shots right now, because before you would be able to get the bomb off, he would like be able to handle the situation.
Okay. Yeah, so I will drop. I'm not going to drop my own initial yet because I need it. So I set the suitcase bomb down.
Mm-hmm.
And I move up to the machinery cubes and I fashion a lock.
He like is eyeing you the whole time. You see his like eyes going over like the wounds that you have from overextending. And he goes, "Little lady, you ain't got nothing in the tank, do you?"
I don't have any insight powers left.
Oh. Well, that makes this easy. Grab her, he says to one of the soldiers. At this point, the rain begins like trickling down as one of the soldiers moves up to grapple you.
Okay, cool. I would like to. Do I have enough? I thought I should have saved enough. Cool. I would like to flashback.
Okay.
To when we were in Las Brasas.
Okay.
And I would like to spend some of the 150 spurs that I have.
Okay.
I'm just double checking. So I only just had this idea right now. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You're fine.
It's taking too long.
I mean, 150 spurs is like, tell me what you want. It's a
higher Black Star.
It's a lot of money.
I have a car.
I'm your client.
You hire Blue Star, the a mercenary group that fights on the side of good.
Ooh. I would like to put a standard quality. Nope, it has to be excellent quality. Excellent quality repulsor on my shield.
Okay. That's not gonna be a roll. You already met an extremely. He already worked on your shield. Like Staples worked on your shield for you to have also been like, one more thing before you left and have him put on a repulsor. Absolutely 100%. If you have the
Great.
mod points for it,
I do.
he will charge you. Let me just tell you how much money you have to actually spend.
It's 42 standard.
Yeah, it's gonna be 50 spurs.
Okay. I have 50 spurs.
And it's there. Excellent quality. Slot it in. You have the repulsor now on your shield.
Y'all, I only have 100 spurs now, plus the 75 I have in the bank.
You're so poor.
I'm so poor. I have 101 spurs.
You wanted to be a summer this year.
Yeah, I know. Can't even go to the islands. Yeah. And I will as they approach me, I will activate it. Activate the kinetic emitter in my shield.
Okay.
And I get to use deflect. And they have to oppose this with athletics.
Yep. They have a 9.
I have 3 12s.
Cool.
And 3.
Yeah, that dude gets launched back 15 feet.
I don't think so.
You step in, the rain is coming down, and like you just your shield lights up, and this big shockwave comes out from it, and like clears the rain that is becoming heavier by the second. And this dude goes flying back, like water splashing around him as he like fucking flies and like lands like by Gus's feet, basically. It's like,
I assure
my
you,
arm, sir, my arm.
I assure you, I am a formidable force with or without insight. So please respect that, you motherfucker.
All right. He
Unless
says,
you'd enjoy a similar trip, of course, then you can come on over.
it's an impressive little thing there, Missy, but surprise is about 50% of your advantage there. Go ahead, set your little charges on the containment manacles, and we'll take a nice fine walk over to the helicopter. How about that?
Are you going to kill Mr. Gurley?
He's coming along for the trip.
Can I make something real clear to you? In case you don't already understand it, because it feels like sometimes you need things to be made very explicit to you in your very small brain.
Something like thunder like rolls through the clouds. You see like lightning. And he goes, as long as you make it quick, we got to get airborne here soon.
You're going to leave my helicopter here. And you're going to leave Dex here, Mr. Bailey, alive. And if you don't, I will rain hell down on you, because you see, those little cuffs aren't going to do enough. And you don't have the resources from Brimstone yet. So unless you want a very rough ride, we're going to be friendly. You're going to treat me like the only friend you've ever had. Or I will haunt your dreams forever. And I smile. And then I hook the thing on to Dex.
Sure.
I leave my Omni tool and shield with him. Because that's the only things that I have.
And you leave the bomb behind?
Yeah, I put the detonator in Lex's pocket. That'll be fun. In the off position.
Safety on.
Safety on. There's a little, like flip cap.
Get your ass up, he says to the soldier who is like nursing his arm after being launched back 15 feet. They turn on the containment manacles on Gus, and he hovers up into the air. And then Fawcett sits there and thinks for like a little bit, looking at Dex, looks at you. And I do think I need an intimidation roll from Eloise.
Well, I have
You're-
one.
You're going to get some positives to this because of everything that has transpired and basically the story you are selling.
Okay.
But he needs to think that you are enough of a threat that he shouldn't betray you right here.
Is this? No, you go ahead.
So you're gonna get a +3 for the bomb, and you're
Has
gonna
a piece of gear been modified or repaired?
yes.
Okay, and have an item I crafted necessary.
Yes, absolutely. Your little like subtitle thing.
Yeah, I guess he's been saying all this stuff, but he's been signing it. Is
Yeah.
what he's been doing, or he's been saying it, and then the guy who's standing next to Gus is signing for him because he's keeping his hand on the trigger pointed at Dex.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And so you get a +3 for the bomb. You're gonna get a +5 just based on, even though he's like, she's tapped out, there's still the like, but is she? She is extremely illuminated, and we don't know a ton about that. And then
Why is my intimidate's actually very good? You
are you already at 17s now? Because I was gonna give you
go ahead.
I was gonna give you a +1 also.
Okay, that's perfect. Now I'm at 17s.
Yeah, a +1 because he is impressed.
Okay. Hopefully I roll good.
Oh, you have you asked about the 2 triggers because you wanted a second grit, right?
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay. 9.
Maddie, what? What'd
9?
you do?
A 9.
Okay. That's I have a 14, a 10, and a 8. So
Okay, yeah. So he looks at Dex, looks at you, seems to do a little bit of mental math, and then just like smiles, nods, and goes, "All right." Thunder cracks nearby, and he goes, "Honestly, poor son of a bitch might be done for in this storm." And he puts a foot up against like the bottom of the containment manacles, and he kicks Dex forward into like the cave mouth out of the rain.
Sure. And I will. I don't know.
And
what
then he turns the gun onto you and says, "Let's go."
I get in the helicopter.
Is there any way for me to try and convince the Raven that we can back her up at this point?
You don't know what's going on, but you can talk to Leo. He's there.
Yeah,
You don't
absolutely.
see Dex. Like Dex doesn't float like into the cave and then down and then around the bend to like where you can see him.
Right. No,
You want my
I
cake?
think it's mostly like hearing the repulsor. I think is like, so are we gonna back her up, or are we just gonna stand here and do nothing?
She's fine. She's in control of the situation. I see why
Is she in
I see
control?
why you like her.
I hear that, right?
No, the Raven doesn't share that.
Okay.
If she's giving herself up, and this is the last time I see her, you better be right about this.
Plan was always to hit Brimstone. She's just getting there a little ahead of us. Like I said, we're all going to the same place, Porter. The only way you can get there is not getting yourself killed right now.
So, do I get the sense that if Elle goes in this helicopter, he's gonna go with us after her?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a test to read him. It would be discipline normally, but you have playing to player, so you can use
Manipulate?
Yeah, manipulate.
I just want everyone to know that scene took too long, and now my ice cream is soup. I'm very sad.
Oh
But it also tastes very good. I'm gonna eat it anyway.
Good soup.
It's good soup.
God dang it.
You were up against an 11, Porter.
Right. That sucks. I mean, not really, but
You misfire, have a heart attack.
um, it's just the one success. It's a 13. But it is a misfire because I am shaken and my misfire threshold is down by 1. So this 120 gets me a misfire.
So you grave misfire on this.
No, he just said he had a
no.
success.
I got
Oh, you beat him. You beat him. It's a regular misfire.
misfire. It's a regular misfire.
I know your instinct is just that Porter has certainly grave misfired.
I get it. I understand.
Okay. So you got 1 net success on him?
That's right.
You know that he's telling the truth. Like the FPC, like his plan was to knock out Black Star and then move against Brimstone. You don't have a good idea as like what that timeline is. You don't know how it plays into L's like survival like chances, right? Because like presumably an attack on Brimstone is something that will take, first off, just a long time to physically be in position to do, but also like a decent amount of like planning and coordination and some other stuff. There could be other steps. Like you don't know how long L is going to be a captive of Brimstone before the FPC attacks. You don't have a good read on that. You don't have a good read on his urgency or whether he cares what happens to Eloise and Gus. But you do know that as long as you continue to want to work against Brimstone, the Raven and the FPC will continue to like loop you into whatever they're doing, right?
Right.
That you're able to read that on him. His plan is to attack Brimstone at some point in time. You don't have a good idea on how concerned he is for L actually.
That's fine. I can push the timeline. If I have to force his hand, I can do that.
As for your misfire, just a regular misfire. I don't really have anything super crazy. What are you idly doing right now? Are you doing anything or are you just standing there like nervously waiting?
I guess if anything, I would be treating my injuries.
Okay. What's your least severe injury?
It's the setback.
Cool. You failed to treat that injury. That injury is just going to
Great.
need natural rest to get rid of.
Got it.
Yeah, because you're like sitting there and he like says that and you get really frustrated and like you just like rip the like stitches and you're like, fuck it.
Yeah, so I hear him say that, and I say, fine. Then I'll be with you. Tell her to stay safe.
L, as you begin walking basically at gunpoint towards the helicopter, right? Just making sure that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
You hear Leo's voice in your head, and he goes, wait, sorry, literally, what did you just ask him to say?
Stay safe.
Okay.
Tell her to stay safe.
Your man's worried and wants you to know. We'll be coming for you. Till then, keep your head on your shoulders. And like, unless you try to resist, they are going to put a mind cuff on you.
That's fine.
Okay. So the telepathic link turns off. You feel a sharp pin prick in the back of your neck. And your like ability to like tap into your luminescent like ability powers is dampened. And you feel like this like hot hum around your throat. They march you towards the helicopter, load up you and Gus. And they will put you in containment manacles. He goes, friend or not, You're my prisoner. If it makes you feel better, I've been worse to a lot of my better friends.
Well, that's why I said I was the only friend you ever had. I don't imagine you keep friends. They're not practical.
They serve a purpose for a time, I suppose. You go
That
ahead
ain't
and
a
rest up.
friend.
We got a little bit of a trip until Brimstone. And as they basically like sit you in a relatively comfortable position in the back of the helicopter, nearby an unconscious Gus, you do see something that concerns you, probably. Which is Dex's and Caldwell's guns are hanging on gun belts on the interior wall of the helicopter. As the helicopter begins to take off and fly away. Leo sits there for a little while longer and goes, and like you can hear, like, it's hard to hear the helicopter at this point. The storm outside is really bad. And Leo goes, well, sounds like they're making a break for it. Dex is at the mouth of the cave, restrained. We could go collect him and plan our next move.
Porter doesn't say anything, but he goes straight for the cave mouth to see if he can find Dexton and treat him.
As you make your way that way, Leo lets you walk past that line that he had basically drawn. He clicks his tongue at pit stop to activate pit stop, like, and pit stop starts walking. And the two of you find Dex. You see a device that with like minimal tampering can unlock the containment manacles. We'll go ahead and like, you have enough like medicine and stuff. Do you have any first aid cubes left?
No.
Okay. Then yeah, go ahead and you can wake Dex up, but basically Dex, you're going to be groggy for a little while.
I mean, I'm still 4 out of 6 into my overflow, and all of my hit points are
sure.
filled up. So, like,
I guess, do you have a healing tonic to give Dex hit points to make him conscious? Yeah. Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
You use that healing tonic. You can like kind of wake Dex up, but without being able to expend a first aid cube, he does have to suffer from the effect of sleep, which basically means he can be woken up, but he's at like big negatives to do anything because like he is incredibly groggy.
Can I, since he is so low, can I use 2 of those tonics to heal him 6?
Yeah, absolutely. What are the side
I think
effects?
you would have to in order for me to, because they're both 3. The first one just gets 3 of my overflow, right?
No, the overflow doesn't get healed.
Oh, okay.
The overflow is like if you were to get downed again, you're that much closer to being dead. The healing goes straight into your actual hit points.
So that'd be 12 hit points.
Okay, that's all of my hit points. That's all the hit points I have.
Perfect.
What are the side effects?
Just death.
Okay. So yeah, Dex, you wake up, you are deaf. Luckily you also know sign language, as does Porter and the Raven. It's the only person in this entire party who I think maybe might not know sign language is Gus, because he didn't have as formal an education. Though Dex's wasn't traditional, but it was formal. But like Gus, it's up to you whether or not you think like it's pretty commonplace. Like if you know, basically, if you're a person who knows how to read and write, it's extremely common for you to know sign language on Manifest. It's just a matter of if you think that like you are like, it's like, it would be like the thing that would teach you alongside reading and writing. I know you can read and write. So it's just a matter of if you think your family taught you sign.
You didn't really need sign to get the verities, so it was less important. He knows a little bit just from like being out and like communicating with folks.
Sure.
But it wasn't really practicing at home.
Cool. So Dex, you're gonna be a -3 to all awareness and logic tests, and you'll fall back asleep if not continuously stimulated.
Okay. So you mentioned they took Caldwell's guns and my guns. I also had a medium projectile weapon and a medium firearm and one of Brimstone's hard caliber. Oh no, Porter took the other one. Yeah,
Okay.
so I had
Yeah, right. we got
Any
that.
any weaponry you had on you, they took and stored away. You are disarmed. You have your armor still. They didn't take the armor off of you.
they didn't make me naked out here in the.
Yeah.
I get it.
But the first thing they did when they captured the gunslinger was get every ranged weapon they possibly could away from that gunslinger.
Fine, I'll pick up a rock.
fucking dead eye over here.
Yeah, I think I signed to Porter. Honestly, I think if you still have the like hard caliber pistols like on your belt or somewhere, Dex just grabs one and goes to look for the two guys that he knows Gus knocked out.
Oh,
I was wondering about those two guys. There's another one in the mouth of the other cave.
There's other unconscious people in this helicopter. They collected their wounded. At least those two. Is there what other? You mean like from like earlier in the fight? Because that guy got picked up during the fight.
Oh, fine.
um,
Ooh, we're dying.
yeah.
but yeah. So Dex, you like sit up, grab the guns out from Porter, and you make your way outside into the storm. Leo watches it happen, turns to Porter and goes, "Is that going to be a problem?"
We're all going to the same place, aren't we?
I think maybe you should talk to your friend. I don't know much about gunslingers, but he's your friend, and I don't think he's going to be much happy. And if you're going to want him to have any kind of clear thought as to what to do next, he's going to need some talking to, and he ain't going to listen to me. I'm going to go see what that fella I shot still had on him. Might
Yeah,
have to camp
and-
here in this cave until the storm blows over. So I'll get a fire started.
That'd be nice. Thank you.
All right.
And I'll go find Dex.
Janus,
Mm-hmm.
if she don't make it, we put that place in the ground, one way or another.
I'll hold you to that.
He's like removed the raven mask at this point. You step out. Dex, you go to where the unconscious soldiers were. It looks like you can see the signs of them having been collected and put into the helicopter before the helicopter repositioned. And Porter, you go out into the storm to talk with Dex.
I mean, Dex doesn't stay out in the storm once it becomes clear that those guys aren't there.
Right. But it is specifically a decent ways away from the cave mouth, right? So
Sure.
like Porter, unless you don't, Porter, do you like go after Dex or do you wait for him to come back?
I just try and basically catch his eye. I'm gonna accompany him back to the cave.
Cool. The two of you, like, yeah, Dex, you see the signs, you go, okay, and then you turn back and you see Porter approaching you. About like I don't know, 15 paces behind Porter. Just because of his automated nature, Pit Stop is like following Porter around because he's been activated, and it's just like his default setting is like wherever Porter goes, walk that way until you're commanded to stop. So you see Porter and Pit Stop. You don't see Leo. The storm crackles with lightning. It sounds extremely close. And then behind Porter, almost nearby Pit Stop, there's a flash of lightning, and you see a jackalope is just there. A jackalope that wasn't there before is just there. And it's like sniffing at Pit Stop as Pit Stop like walks by it like uncaringly. And it like is like sniffing at it. And it's like ears kind of like twitching as the rain falls. And like it like walks a little bit closer to Pit Stop. And like you don't know how that jackalope got there. You have pretty good line of sight to like everything, but all of a sudden, like in the shadow of this like extremely, the day was bright and now is completely like gray black, and like the visibility is terrible as it is now raining sheets on you and Porter.
I'll just sign to Porter. Friend of yours?
Porter turns and is clearly shocked by what is a giant fucking creature next to him.
Yeah, there's about 10 feet behind you. There's a jackalope with kind of unique coloring. It's black and brown coloring. It's got little like brown spots above its eyes. It's got like a kind of a brown underbelly and like on its like on the interior of its like limbs. Then the rest of it is like this kind of like dark black, all of which is kind of muted by like how completely soaked in the rain it is. And it's got two extremely healthy sets of antlers. As it turns to you and you like flinch and it like gets into a ready stance.
Dex is not great with animals, but knows at least one thing about most animals. And reaches into his pack and pulls out a ration. Just tosses it at this jackalope.
Yeah, Porter like backs up to you, Dex. You toss out this food. The jackalope immediately doesn't give a shit about Porter and like goes and like sniffs the food and like eats it up off the ground. The ground now becoming like wet with mud as it starts pooling up in these like in the recesses of this rocky terrain.
Porter signs, is it gonna attack us? I don't have much experience with jackalopes.
Jackalope. So
Or at least
this is
in the
what Dex
wild.
says. You tell me if it's wrong. Dex says the correct thing. Jackalopes aren't really predators. And they eat if they find it, but they don't.
Yeah, they don't hunt big game. If the omnivorous aspect of jackalopes is they will eat smaller
It's like opportunity, right?
yeah, they're like, hey, it's a snake.
Yeah, they're not predators. I don't know what this thing is doing here.
In the middle of a storm, no less. I guess
How
Porter
long ago
pulls
did
out
they
a rat.
leave? Dex, I think, just like moves on.
Yeah. They just left. They were trying to get ahead of the storm. They've got Elle, they've got Gus.
Well, I'm not a pilot, but this is bad to fly in.
No, you're right. I think we need to wait it out. We know where they're going anyway.
The jackalope sniffs at your ear, Porter.
I pull the ration from my pack and kind of like hold it up to its mouth away from my face.
It like its nose pulls back and starts like biting at the rations. As it kind of takes the ration from your hand, the storm feels less oppressive to you. The rain that was cold and weighing you down now feels comfortable. Like in those moments where you felt like going out and like playing in the rain for fun, and it doesn't feel like you're all like your hair like doesn't feel like matted. It feels like you're doing something fun and nice. It's like that same kind of feeling where like,
yeah,
this rain is now nice. It wasn't nice before. It was cold, bleak, and bad, but now it feels fine, and you can actually see around you a lot better. Like you don't know if it's letting up or not, but like it is not necessarily impairing you. Dex, the jackalope goes and sniffs at your nose.
I'll just very carefully like pat it. Like
It like leans into the pat, and it's
Yeah.
massive and like kind of shoves you a little bit as it does. And you have the same effect, Dex. At that moment when you start like patting it, like you don't know if the storm's letting up or what, but like you have extremely like trained senses. You're groggy as hell right now. So it's not like perfect, but like even with you being like groggy and exhausted, like the air, like the terrain around you feels like less like you were about to be in a place where there's going to be like a mudslide because of the rain, and more like just like you're in like a comfortable like drizzle, even though you know you're not in a comfortable drizzle because it is pouring sheets around you.
How did I think Dex says out loud, even though he's deaf? How did you get here? You can't talk. You're a jackalope. Jackalopes don't talk. Not a thing.
Porter
they
signs
do.
you couldn't hear him anyway.
I think Dex like pats the jackalope and starts like walking back to the cave. Jackalope is nice. It's nice that the storm is nicer, but like I don't see how this jackalope changes the situation.
Porter, I think, is signing something to the effect of I was so ready to be angry with you and Gus, but I don't feel anything but broken now. We've got to fix this. This is our responsibility. We got to fix this.
I think Dex like wipes the rain from his forehead and signs back to Porter. The two of you are so concerned with protecting each other that both of you make colossally bad decisions.
I think we all made mistakes here. All of us. I wanted this plan to work as much as everybody, but we needed to work together.
Yeah, I thought we had a plan, and then no one followed it.
I need both you to roll an observe test at a -3, or a survival test at a -5.
I can't imagine the survival kit helps with this.
It doesn't. And if you're rolling survival, then you don't have to worry about the sleep effect.
It's either a
does clear
-5 or a
sight-
-6.
Does clear sight help me here?
Yes.
Excellent.
That's 3 successes.
What's your highest?
I've put
7.
and I'm 2 with a high of 5.
Well, you guys were up against a 10, and then
Can't sneak.
a 6, 8, and a 9. Holy shit, that's a straight.
No,
Nope,
here's the
shit.
thing.
Oh, I don't have a 7.
We're missing a 7.
Here's the thing. He can't sneak at all, but he could wilderness stalk.
No, the thing you guys failed to notice, you're walking back towards the cave mouth. And you're just kind of going by default. Like Dex, you've walked this path, like you sprinted this path once, and then you kind of like jogged it just now. Porter, you walked it once. And you realize like you were like kind of signing and talking to each other and not really paying attention as you were just kind of like moving through what you understood to be the way back to the cave mouth. And suddenly you realize that you are walking on grass.
Oh.
And the rain is letting up. And you look around, and you are not where you were before.
Did I maybe not heal us as well as I thought we did? Or what's happening right now?
The jackalope
I just
bounds
should've worked
past you and ahead of you.
I should have worked on those tonics a little harder. I think we might be hallucinating. Do you see this? Is it just me?
No, it's not just you.
You look up, there's not an extremely thick canopy of trees above you, but there is shade from trees. It's still raining, but much lighter now. And the terrain is still like rocky and like sort of badlandsy, but there's vegetation. Like it is vegetation, and you can hear, like, I guess you can't hear anything. It's mostly raining, but like you hear like the rain like hitting on the trees and shrubs and brush around you. It's not thickly vegetated, but like amidst the rocks and dirt, there is grass and like plant life.
Does this look like any region of Manifest I'm aware of?
It's not too dissimilar than some parts of the Badlands. There are plenty of parts of the Badlands that do have
But like nothing near the Punch Peaks.
No, God, no. This is not the Punch Peaks at
Yeah.
all. No. Maybe like the
Right.
southern Punch Peaks have like a few areas that are like a little
But,
lush
like,
with some vegetation.
Not like this.
No. And also you're not on a mountain anymore.
Yeah, I think Dex, like, I'll look behind and see where we apparently came from.
Yeah, it's just more of the same kind of new terrain that you didn't have around you before.
Sorry, remind me, Umbra's like black and brown, right?
Yeah.
And then I'll assign to Porter. You ever made like one fairy tale in a book in Lucas Creek? Follow the Black Rabbit.
I must not have heard that one, but if you say so, nothing else makes sense.
No, nothing today makes sense, Porter.
You
We-
follow the jackalope is a ways ahead of you, and as you approach, it kind of continues to move on once you get close enough to it. And it's not too far. You kind of go around a bend, rocks, trees, and stuff blocking your line of sight as you get a little bit deeper into this like vegetative area. And as you kind of enter in, you see a creek moving through a much more lush area, like a full on like almost oasis type area. It's no longer raining at all. The sun is out. It shines down to where you are, and the jackalope plops its big, thick hindquarters down as it sits down next to what appears to be a cluster of gems embedded in a rock formation. And it twitches its ears at you and then goes and like shakes out all of its like all the rain out of its fur.
So, what is this? Just where it lives?
I don't know how you could infer anything from what we've experienced.
There's a warmth coming from the collection of gems.
I think Dex like puts his hand on the gems to like steady himself as he's just gonna like sit down.
The moment you touch them,
Oh, there's an effect.
the moment you touch the gems, all of your hit points are back, which I think is already the case.
Heal overflow as well.
It will, all your heal overflow comes back, all your hit points come back. Whatever injuries you have are completely healed as if you rested. And also the effect of the sleep tonic goes away completely. You are back to your normal self. Basically, it's as if you've gotten a complete and total rest, and have nothing ailing you at all.
Sorry, chat. My monitor is on a like arm, so when I erase, the desk shakes.
Yeah, you see the bruises and cuts and scrapes on Dex's body disappear almost in an instant. They just wisp away, and he's back to normal. And he stands a little more straight, like you don't have to lean on this thing anymore.
Holy shit.
Yeah, and you're not deaf anymore. You can hear yourself say that out loud.
And I signed them. What? How did you do?
I can
Are you?
hear.
Oh, are you illuminated? What do you mean you can hear? That should still be. You should still be a couple of hours away from that.
Porter, we followed a jackalope that came from nowhere to a place that can't possibly be near where we were, and it sat down next to a glowing rock. I don't know what's going on. I think you should
that
touch the
sounds
rock.
It sounds like we're dead anyway. So what could that? What possibly could happen? And he like tentatively reaches out and touches the rock.
Yeah, you feel a warmth as you reach out. When you touch it, that warmth passes through your body, and all your hit points come back. You are fully refreshed. Any negative effects from toxins or any injuries you have, completely gone. You are full 100% back to normal.
Any talents that require a rest I could use again?
No, those don't come back.
That's fair.
It's
All right.
physical ailments are all gone.
What is this? I lean to the jackalope and I say, "What is this? What are you? Hello? What's going on?"
Well, don't yell at him, says a voice from another part of the grove. And you turn and see what you assume is probably a man. He's actually wearing like a big like leather coat with some like furs that's clasped tightly. It's very ornate. It's got like a lot of like intricate engravings and stitchings in it. And he is wearing a hood over his head. So you don't see his face, but what you do see is his like jaw, which is lush with a graying beard. Save for there's a spot where there is no beard because he has a big scar on his jaw. And he's got a wry smile on his playing on his face, or at least as much of his face as you can see. You see a copper like tooth in his mouth. And as he reaches up to pull his hood back, you see his arms and hands are tattooed with like runic tattoos. And he pulls back his hood, revealing a man probably in his mid to late 60s. With like gray hair with like little spots that are still like kind of brownish. He regards you with a little bit of confusion and a little bit of amusement as he sees the two of you. And he looks right past the two of you and goes, "What are you doing?" to the jackalope.
That's what I was asking. Who the fuck are you?
The jackalope bounds past, like just a poof, like a big burst of like strength from its like legs as it bursts past you, Porter, and like just like one single bound like lands right like next to this man, who looks at the jackalope and like kind of scratches it behind the ear. Doesn't seem to be listening to you anymore, Porter, as he just is like petting the jackalope.
I slowly approach him. Yeah, did you bring us to this, to whatever this is?
I didn't bring you here at all. You can call me Kinsey. And he reaches out a hand to shake yours, Porter.
Janus. Porter Janus.
Turns to you, Dex.
Dexter Bailey.
Right. So, what are you doing here?
Followed the rabbit.
He
The
looks.
rabbit took us to.
He looks at the jackalope with scrutiny, and the jackalope looks like somehow forms an expression of like equal like disdain and scrutiny as they like kind of like exchange a look like the fuck, and they're like the fuck. All right. Well, you're here, so why don't you have a sit? Have some food. He gestures to like an area where there are tree stumps with like berries and meats and stuff. And then you can be on your way.
We've got an appointment. Listen, folks. So if it's all the same,
Don't worry. You won't miss any time. Yeah, have a seat.
But-
Umbra obviously thought there was something interesting about you, and you're here now, so might as well make the most of it.
yeah, okay, it's that kind of day. Dax
I
sits
don't
down,
understand.
starts eating
No.
whatever's here.
Were you
But
imperiled
you
in
just
any
told me to
way?
take-
Were you at death's door?
Guy shot me with a laser.
Oh, tell me more about that. He says, sitting down like excitingly.
He had a helicopter. Shot me with a laser from a helicopter.
You were dying, and Umbra brought you here to save you.
I mean, he wasn't dying right away, though. Right? Like, well, I gave him something. He should have been fine.
The man looks at the jackalope that you now understand to be named Umbra, and then like furrows his brow and he goes, "You weren't dying." One moment, please enjoy. He says, like gesturing to the food again. He looks at the jackalope and just stares at it for a minute. Oh. Oh, you're traveling with Leo Riggs.
Yeah?
It's been a long time, he says to the jackalope, and the jackalope is like, and like kicks the ground a couple times.
And do you know him?
I at least knew him. Well, sounds like you have a story for me and I have a story for you. So, let's get comfortable. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
You absolute madman.
Wild. This is wild.
Can't shake my own hand. What's
Yeah,
happening
no,
here? What's
I
happening?
wanted to-
Very
don't touch me.
uncomfortable.
You touch it, it's like, what?
Nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I was like 2 episodes ago or something like that.
Yeah.
Like Addie rolled
Yeah,
extremely good on Detect Life, and I was like, there's a jackalope nearby.
Jackalopes
We're
aren't
all like,
predators,
probably not.
but this one is a predator.
This one is a predator. This one's murdered some people.
This one hungers only for human blood.
Wowie, wow. Any of you who feel like you might not be in on the joke, you should watch season 1 of Manifest
listen
Actual
to
Play,
it.
or listen to it on the podcast.
Yeah.
Hey.
I believe Kinsey McCharlotte begins in episode 2.
Mhm.
Umbra takes a while.
Certainly does.
You don't meet Umbra for a while.
That's true.
Umbra is introduced in an episode that shortly thereafter includes a truly shocking amount of vomit.
So much vomit everywhere.
Oh my goodness. Yes, indeed.
Things
Okay.
to look forward to.
Let's move into Q&A. We have some stuff. Ooh, we have plenty of stuff in the Discord from Argit Lam. If he stayed up way too late on a lot of those episodes, says Argit Lam. Yeah, a lot of those ones went really late. There was a lot to do. All right, we're gonna move into Q&A. Argit Lam's got some questions in the Discord. If you have any questions right now viewing, throw them in the chat. We will answer them. Otherwise, we're gonna jump right into the Discord ones from Argit Lam. Let's see. What's this? Building a character. How would you build this character in Manifest? It's V Madison from Dragon Quest. Notable traits: combat medic with a focus on the melee combat side. Weapon of choice is a staff. Master of monsters. He can tame and train monsters. Though his one guaranteed monster companion is a great saber cat. And access to considerable status buffing abilities. Well, If it's a combat medic who's using melee, it sounds like he's probably got brawn and know-how. And then if he's going to be able to train monsters, that sounds like metal as far as his talent trees go.
I think it's maybe less brawn because at the end, status buffing abilities, I guess, unless he's making tonics. Because I was thinking it could be enlightenment and has transfer power. Unless we're using tonics to buff.
Yeah.
Also love this dog's look. Just looked him up. Great white robe with the purple cape and hat. Stellar.
Wow. And the animal companion could be like a ball-tailed cat.
Ball-tailed cat sounds probably right. Could be a splinter cat.
Splinter cat.
Yeah. But it sounds probably more like a ball-tailed cat. They're closer to like Sabretooth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. At least those would be the talents, or the talent trees, because you can get all sorts of good melee stuff from Brawn. You could get I think probably the way you play it is know how and also be really good at like getting tonics to your friends. Because you can make tonics like Porter does, where you make a bunch of them instead of just 3, and then also make it so like tier 1 tonics don't have side effects, like those kind of things, which is just like pure buff and good stuff. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. And then there's a whole animal companion tree in metal that you would be able to go down.
Mm-hmm.
And just be able to have just the dopest of things, like maybe like a really cool jackalope that could murder a bunch of people for you. If you can ride one of those, it would be that one. I think you could probably ride any of those. The legend has it that that Badlands Pete rode a ball-tail cat.
Mm-hmm. Not the most impressive thing he's written.
Certainly not.
All right.
Badlands Pete is as real as he is in your heart.
Next one from Argit in the Discord. Mechanics question. Is there an ability that allows an illuminated character to transfer shine to another illuminated character? There is not. Like Roman said, there is for somatic powers, which exclusively only affect you. Once you go into the enlightenment tree down a certain path, you do gain the ability to actually touch somebody else and use that somatic power on them. Like, so you can make someone have regeneration. You can make someone have Hulk. You can make someone have Lithe. You can forcibly teleport someone somewhere they don't want to be. Those somatic powers only affect you until you get the transfer power thing, but there isn't a thing that allows you to take your pool of shine and gift it to another illuminated character.
Oh my god! Could you?
What an interesting space and design.
Yeah.
Somebody 200 feet into the air with transfer power.
Argit just, I think, had the same thought because he just posted in the chat, ... I had not considered teleporting others.
Send a man to the sun.
I don't think
You can see it.
I feel
you can
like
see the moon. You can blink to the moon.
I think non-canon, but potentially true. There might be some dead bodies on the moons, just from people having blinked there either intentionally or unintentionally. And then next from Argit, what is winter like in the Badlands and in the Garden? Related to above, which manifest animal's pelt would make the best cold weather insulation? Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Winter in the Badlands and the Garden. So okay. There's been a lot of thought about the weird dynamics of Manifest's orbit and how it allows the planet to be the way it is. Basically, Manifest's orbit allows it so that the wastes, which is the South Pole, is always hot, and the tundras on the North Pole are always cold. This means that Manifest has effectively a wobble that perfectly times with its rotation around the sun. Its southern pole is always slightly pointed at the sun. And its northern pole is always slightly pointed away from the sun. Unlike Earth, which kind of like wobbles in a way that like allows like seasons to change on the hemispheres. Manifest doesn't have that. However, it does have seasons in the sense that there are parts of its orbit that are further away from the sun than others, which allows for, oh God, I have an actual calendar of the seasons. Summer is extremely long on Manifest, and then
It's mostly summer.
It's mostly summer, and then there's a very short spring and a very short fall, and then a moderately like I think it's like I want to say, I don't have the calendar up right now. I want to say like a third of the year, I think maybe is, no, not a third, a fifth of the year. A fifth of the year, I think, is winter, and then like 3/5 of the year is summer. And then 1/5 of the year is the combination of like spring and fall, like split up. That's how seasons work on Manifest. So it's mostly summer. So winter is mild comparative to a lot of places on Earth, but still exists. And in that regard, like the Badlands gets a little cold, and it's basically the wet season for the Badlands. It's like the wettest season, like, of the Badlands. You get a lot more precipitation, a lot more like storms in the Badlands. And in the Garden, which is a place generally a little more northern, and tends to, because of its like the way the mountains play with like weather patterns, the Garden just tends to have more like precipitation in general, and you get a little bit of snow, you get a little bit of like sleet and stuff like that in the winter. The more north you go, the more intense it gets. So like Freedom and Liberty City have like pretty much close to Earth-like winters, like North American Earth-like winters, but like not like North American like Canada, like North American like fucking like Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, like Colorado, like that kind of thing. It's not like dumping like sheets and sheets of snow, like you can get in like in Canada and like the northern parts of the United States. But that's more or less how that plays out. And the same can be true of like the northern parts of the Badlands also, because of the way the weather patterns work, because of the mountain ranges and stuff like that. Like Fort Dearborn actually generally has relatively it's a frigid desert almost, right? It gets a decent amount of heat and sunlight, so it's not like frigid in the summertime, but in the winter it is a more dramatic shift because it's very north and close to the tundra and doesn't get a lot of sunlight, especially in the winter times. So that's the not at all short answer. But hey, Argentlam, I've thought a lot about it. And
and the best animal pelt,
Hodag.
Obviously.
If you can carry it on your shoulders. But it's got the thickest, furriest hide.
I don't think you take the whole pelt.
Yeah, you get like the wrist of
like,
a Hodag.
Like, even still, like it's thick probably, like to wear as like a poncho or a shawl.
Yeah.
The actual answer to that is a gumbaroo, because it's got no breathability. So all of your body heat remains inside.
But then you die and it ignites and then it explodes.
Well, once you turn it into armor, you've taken away all the oils.
If you treat it.
Gosh, it's treated.
You probably want it to be breathable in that scenario, is all that I'm saying.
If it's for warmth, you don't want it to be breathable. That's the whole point.
I think probably I would agree with maybe Hodag. It's just so furry.
Hodag is certainly a lot easier to come by.
Oh yeah. I actually think what is it? It's not the black dog, is that? I
mean, there is the black
one
dog,
yet?
but that one's not like particularly furry or anything. It's very spoopy.
I think like maybe North Pole expeditions, they might get a specialty gumbaroo suit made.
Yeah,
it's like a combination.
Oh, we're overlooking the most populous one, right?
Sharoof.
No, I mean, yes, that's definitely going to stop you from being cold.
Yeah, it's lava.
Stop you from being cold for the rest of your life.
No, I think it's jackalope.
Yeah,
jackalope or Warakin, they're all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, but so are
Hodags are also pretty.
Like one Hodag is going to get you a lot, but to get a Hodag to be that big takes a couple of years, right?
You really have to have a sustainable breeding program.
Yeah, and you know, just like you can't flap a Hodeck, it's real hard to convince them to do anything on command. So I'm gonna leave that there and walk away. Thanks. Have a good night, everybody.
Yeah, I think probably there's a decent amount of options. Oh, I just now realized I had this up. I'm just gonna check. Yeah, I think probably I'd go with Hodag. I think Jackalope is like the nicer version of that to a bit, especially like northern jackalopes, because they'll have like way thicker fur than like southern jackalopes. Yeah, definitely not a wampus. Not that. Don't go anywhere near a wampus.
Listen, if you find yourself with wampus hide, make a coat.
It'll be a
Make the
fancy
coolest
coat. People will be like,
Yeah.
holy shit, that coat is fancy. Kind of terrifying, but fancy.
I feel uncomfortable looking at it for reasons I can't quite explain.
It's like the cursed hat in What We Do in the Shadows.
All right, so that's the answer to what's winter like in different parts of Manifest. Also, in case you're wondering, the waste is always really hot, and for 3/5 of the year, it is excessively
Really
hot. And then like
played a
winter is
character
like
from the
it's
Waste.
still very hot.
Yeah. I played a character from the Waste. He is a tough son of a bitch.
Yeah, the southernmost point of Manifest is basically like the equator on Earth. It is so hot, but it's like a pinpoint. It's just like a fucking 50-mile radius of just like you might die of heat stroke if you hang out here.
That's a good supervillain lair.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right. Next question. Oh, I feel like we may have gotten this one before.
I do feel obligated to give a joke answer before you get to anything real.
Okay, noted. The question is, would a hover bike remain above water?
Can't take a hover bike over water unless you got power. I don't actually.
Did you
know
see the
real
second
answer.
part of his question? It says,
of
assuming of
course I
course
did.
it had power.
You gotta bring your extra battery packs that are attached with wires to your big hoverboard.
The
in
answer
2015.
The answer is no. A hover bike is not a water vehicle. It will go into the water. A hover bike pushes up off the ground, and the water is not as sturdy as the ground. So when it tries to push up off the ground in its water, it just pushes the water down and then goes into the water.
At least right now, there could be things later.
There could be things later, different vehicle mods that could maybe allow that.
Mm.
Y'all, Tommy's been on me forever of like, you can't make this thing also fly, or you can't make this thing also a boat. And he just casually comes onto here on the stream and is like, I don't know, maybe I'll be into that later.
I have to keep you in check. Is that what it is?
What we're trying to say is either wait for it to catch Tommy's fancy or come find us and we'll freaking silver pen it into your book when you get it.
Oh, great.
You get a mod, it's
That-
called Extra Power. It's a big battery pack, and it makes your hover vehicle go on water.
Let's see. I believe that's it for questions in the Discord. I don't see any in the chat. I do see Argot Lom saying that right there justifies Watts deciding that east is the correct way to go instead of crossing the wastes.
Never cross the waste. Don't even go there if you can help it.
Yeah, if you can avoid it. If you can
There's a
avoid
big
wastes.
poison lake, and it's not friendly.
There's like
Though
parasites.
you can get a very good, scrub out of it if you hardy enough.
There's so much bad animals in the
There's
waste
one
that you just never want to meet.
There's
yeah.
1 month a year where it's just spiders in the waste.
I think Argitlam asked about if dreams were an actual insight power. I think
When?
because when I said that, right?
He said something to the effect like he wasn't sure if haunting your dreams was an insight power.
Sure.
Well,
It's not an insight power that humans can have.
yeah, there is. The Wampus does exactly that. That's why we were saying the Wampus fur
Yeah.
coat would be uneasy for no reason. because once you're within a certain range of a Wampus, you start having nightmares that literally deal damage to your hit points. And then eventually it either kills you in your sleep and then comes and eats your corpse, or finds you when you're so tired and exhausted and beat up that it's easy for it to eat you. And then if you happen to just maybe kill it,
it'll jump in your eyeball like it did with me. And then it'll jump out later and be like, ha!
When a Wampus
we were ready for it the second time. We knew it was coming out the second time. We were waiting out there with guns and swords.
Yeah. When a Wampus is killed, it actually continues to live in the nightmares of the person who killed it. And there's a chance that those nightmares can manifest into another living Wampus that appears in the real world out of the
It jumped out of my eye. I can't say this enough. They're nasty. They are nasty.
We played an extremely non-canon but very helpful playtest at high level in which we did fight a Wampus.
Yeah.
I think actually in that one, Tommy, you did let me, basically by not resting, maintain a telepathic link to like play Dream Defender in people's minds.
Yeah. You decided not to sleep and instead were like assisting people with resisting the damage from the nightmares by just also being there.
I was playing a character who was extremely tailored to deal with a Wampus, though I didn't know it at the time.
One of the most illuminated people to ever exist.
Yeah.
True. It was fun. It's a good game.
Picked up a guy, threw him into the stratosphere.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. Wampus are fun.
And then we got so many tattoos.
Guys, I should put a Wampus in this campaign. Don't you think? Don't you think right now nightmares would be a really good thing for you guys to have to deal with?
No.
Hold on. Wampus doesn't discriminate. So if it's following this helicopter's fucked.
Black Star's sitting there fucking having nightmares too.
Listen, the Wampus doesn't care what you feel about people. The Wampus hates. And so if there's a lot of you in Brim, oh no, you all have nightmares.
The illuminated people will be better off.
Okay, we're luring a Wampus to Brimstone. This is the end game here.
Put a Wampus in a cage outside Brimstone and just let it like eat their dreams.
Do you know where a Wampus is?
Tommy? Yes.
Oh my goodness. And on that note, we are going to wrap up for tonight. I have no other questions in the chat. I have no questions in the Discord. We are going to be back on October 5th. Same manifest place, same manifest time. We'll see you all on the 5th, and we'll see how things go. There's 2 of our party completely restrained and in a helicopter traveling east towards Brimstone, and then we have 2 other parties seemingly in a weird
We've gone down the rabbit hole.
Yeah, you've gone down the rabbit hole.
Gone down the rabbit hole.
Speaking with none other than Kinsey McCharlotte from Campaign 1.
Who's that? I don't know him.
You don't know. You don't know.
Never met him.
No idea.
All right. Thank you all for watching. We love you all so much. Thank you to everyone who gave grit throughout the session. Thank you to Ryak for the fucking massive amount of bits at the beginning. You guys are amazing. We love you. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now. Bye-bye.